This podcast was recorded in November and is brought to you by
Nothing!
Hey there, everybody. It's your host, Peter the Parker King.
And your co-host, Ponzio Parker, the Friendly Neighborhood Podcaster.
And your co-host, Pete Ounce, friendly neighborhood Big Ounce. Come to me for all your Big Ounce needs.
What the fuck was that? Welcome to the show, everybody.
I thought he was supposed to be Parker, or Peter Big Ounce Parker.
Yeah, let's redo that.
No, it's too late now. You fucked up.
You fucked up. You missed.
Nope, I did fuck
you
up.
missed your web, bro. You missed your web.
No, you're just
I
like
failed to catch Gwen Stacy.
You're just like Tobi Maguires Peter Parker when he swung for the first time and hit the wall.
Yeah, that's you.
Like,
you crashed.
I totally fucked that up.
It's alright, that's cool. It just adds some more flavor to this year Spiderthon that we partook in for the past, a month and a half now. I think that's how long that's been.
Yeah.
It's been a good while.
We started a Spiderthon. I was really enjoying it, and then
it's kind of funny though because we actually had to watch all these movies over different mediums because first we had some DVDs and then Blu-ray and then we had to watch stuff
Then we streamed something.
We actually had to stream stuff on Disney Plus and then stream some other stuff on Vudu.
Yeah.
So we were kind of going all over the place.
It'd be nice if everything was in one spot,
but
of course it's not.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Said it'd be nice if everything was in one spot, but of course...
No, not quite. I don't even think they have all the Spider-Man movies on
you can
Disney Plus.
You still cannot find the Tom Holland Spider-Man without having to pay for it.
No,
nowhere is just streaming it.
Unless you already have it.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But yeah, we do have access to pretty much every film except for the ones that are still in theaters.
No, you have to pay for every single one. No one's streaming.
Yeah.
No, even for the
even for the Sam Raimi stuff and the
Sam Raimi and was it John Watts?
No, I thought you could find those on Crackle. I could be wrong.
Really?
I never looked. Cause I always forget Crackle exists.
Well, I know we had the movies, so it's just we had no
we
reason
own the movies.
Yeah, everywhere I've seen though, whether it's on YouTube or on whatever service, you had to rent that damn bitch, or even on Amazon.
I know Amazon for sure.
But good old Sam Raimi Trilogy, that was the guy that did all the Evil Dead and stuff. That's what he's most famous for, other than the Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah, you have to pay for it everywhere. I mean, it's free with cable TV, but
right.
Cable TV.
Yeah, I was about to say.
What are we? So what are we? Neanderthals or something?
Nope.
But yeah, Sam Raimi though, he's that's a guy. I really do enjoy his take on the Spider-Man. I always thought they were
he
pretty
really understood.
Well, he's just a weird guy that was given an opportunity to do weird things.
That too. Yeah.
Spider-Man isn't your conventional I mean, depending on how you look at it, but it's not your conventional action movie. It's you're taking a comic that most comic movies have predominantly failed at, aside from a good few at that time. You're given the opportunity to do something that's outside of the box, and they gave it to one of the best people to do that for.
Yeah, I mean, he also comes from a horror background. And
so this, I don't know. I think this is kind
he
of out of it.
incorporated that into his, I wouldn't say that work at some.
The initial movie was out of his element, but it's just a different step in the style that he How am I trying to say this? It's just
It was definitely he made it his own.
Yeah, he definitely made his own thing. It's not the usual genre that he was into. Because I don't think he ever did superhero movies before this. I don't think, did he?
No, but he really loved superheroes.
Yeah,
like he was really into Spider-Man.
Yeah, so he knew how to do it, but it's just like for him.
He had an appreciation for the character and his story. So I guess that's really all that you need, even if you haven't actually made a superhero movie before.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
yeah, I mean, like,
though.
and he read the comics, so as long as you get the story and you do it right, and you know how to make movies, there you go. That's a superhero movie. Boom, nasty.
Still so weird, Tobi Maguire though.
Good old Tobi Maguire. He's actually the only one that out of all the Spider dudes that are like the typical Spider-Man like Peter Parker look. He's like the only one that actually has like blue eyes. All the other ones have brown eyes.
No shit, didn't realize.
Yeah, if you pay attention, he's like the only one. You know, I mean, there might be some other weird variant out there. I'm not even gonna count the weird ones like Peter Porker or Penny Parker. You know, ones that really deviate. Right. But you know, like
no, even Penny had brown eyes.
Had brown eyes.
But when I think of Tobi Maguire, I think of the kid that got picked up on the side of the road in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Yeah. That's who I always think of.
No, Toby did have brown eyes, and then they turned blue.
They turned blue, really?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know. Everything I've seen him post Spider-Man, like, he had blue eyes. But I don't know.
I thought they turned blue. I could have sworn. That better not be like a Mandela effect thing.
It could be.
I mean, people's eyes do change when they get older.
No, I'm saying the spider bite made him.
But
well, I'm not seeing it. I don't even think he has eyeballs, actually.
Oh, yeah, no, he just never had eyeballs before Spider-Man.
Yeah, we just go back and we're like, oh wait, he doesn't have eyeballs. I know he did
stuff before Spider-Man, but I don't think anybody really knew who he was before that.
Yeah. Pretty sure he's always had blue eyes.
You know, I mean, I know there is like a filmography, I think, that you can actually look at for what they did, like on the special features of the first Spider-Man DVD. But, yeah. Let's see, what did Tobi Maguire actually do before Spider-Man? You know, the funny thing is actually Tobi Maguire, like he was like in that new Boss Baby movie. That was the latest thing that he was in.
Really?
Yeah, I never actually watched that one, but I know he has an acting credit in that.
When did that come out? Did that come out this year?
I think it was like last year, wasn't it? I mean, it could have been this year.
No, motherfuckers always had blue eyes.
Oh, The Boss Baby. And that was actually, in 2017, actually. As he was adult Tim. And, of course, everybody knows. I know the other kind of famous role he had was in Seabiscuit. That was that horse racing movie or something. I never actually watched that one either.
He was in a war movie also. I think, like, he ran off to war with his brother, and then, like, they thought he died, and then his brother went and fucked his wife or some shit like that. Yeah, and then he came back, he's like, yo, I ain't dead, what the fuck, bitch?
I don't know.
And then I think he goes on a huge rampage and kills everybody.
Yeah,
but I could be completely wrong.
I haven't really watched anything they did outside of the Spider-Man movies, honestly. He was in Tropic Thunder, but he was uncredited in that one.
Was he?
Yeah.
Really? What was he, like, background character?
Probably. It says that he's uncredited, though.
He was in Nobody, and I don't remember him being in Nobody.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was Lou in Cats and Dogs. Remember Cats and Dogs?
No, I don't remember Cats and Dogs.
Yeah, that came out in 2001. That actually came out before Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah, and he was... Okay, that's a movie that... I know I don't remember anything that he was in before that, but that's not true. Cats and Dogs. Yeah, he was the little beagle, Lou. He voiced the beagle dog.
Yeah, just every time I see him, I think of the guy from Fear and Loathing.
She was even in a Bob Dylan music video in 2000. Things Have Changed. I guess that was the song that's what came out. Right with the Devil. And Pleasantville. Yeah, I remember watching that in school.
Dude, fucking William Dafoe. William Dafoe's done some fucking work too before he was in Spider-Man. God damn, that motherfucker was...
Oh, that was
He's been acting. I don't even know when he started acting.
Oh my god, he's been doing stuff since like the 70s or the 80s or something. Probably.
He's been acting since acting's been acting.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I mean, you really couldn't have picked anybody to be better to be Norman Osborn. And
they did a great fucking
No, dude,
job.
that was the perfect choice for Norman Osborn because he shares that in common.
You know how
with
much
Peter.
I've sacrificed.
Yeah. He shares that in common with Peter Parker that he wants to live a double life. You know.
Well, I don't think
And so, like,
well, not in the movies. I don't think he wanted to. I don't know.
No, yeah, he did because he didn't want Harry
But
to
he
know.
was scared.
He didn't
want Harry.
Don't tell Harry.
No, you make him sound cool right there. At the very end, he's like, "Don't
Right,
tell
because
Harry."
he wanted to live a double. I remember at the Thanksgiving dinner scene.
Yeah.
He didn't. Peter didn't know that he was.
You know.
The Gabi, but Norman found out that Peter was.
I think the Goblin
and so he had to
is
get out of there.
self-conscious in itself, and then he's like, after a while, he warmed up to it. I don't think he wanted to live the double life. I think the serum let him live his normal life because he knew that he had like the great advantages to letting Norman take like co-pilot the brain or something like that.
You know, all this wouldn't have happened if this board wasn't a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, no.
You know, if they didn't go back to formula, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just kind of sucked. You know, they
Yeah,
just was not working out for the poor dude. He just wanted to to get his contract for the military. And even the military didn't like him for some reason.
Yeah, well, I want to know what was up with that. Like, it's
they never actually got into that. They just know that the general just did not like Norman.
Yeah, he's like, I've never liked you, Osborn, and
Yeah,
quite
was just
frankly,
really
I hope
shitty.
your shit fails.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. If it
felt
wasn't
for
for
him 'cause
something,
he died.
I would have let you fucking went down forever ago. Or some shit. I don't remember exactly the conversation. But
Who was that?
he never really understood why the general was hated. He just kind of
Was that supposed to be General Ross, or was that just some general?
I think that was just
Yeah,
some
yeah.
general. It wasn't supposed to be connected to anything else.
was
Really.
that just some random general in general?
Imagine though if it was.
That would have been kind of funny. At least, that would have been kind of cool if it was the same one from like.
Right.
That'd be
He
awesome.
Gets taken out
But
earlier.
it obviously wasn't because he ended up dying anyway.
Yeah,
So,
right.
and of course Ross doesn't die that soon.
No. He becomes the Red Hulk.
Yeah, the Red
later
Hulk.
on.
I don't think, at least in any story I've ever seen him, and he hasn't died. So
Nah, he's not supposed to die.
It's like not connected.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
and then of course Kirsten Dunst. It's funny that she wasn't even actually redhead. She was like blonde or something, I think.
Yeah, totally dyed her hair for that. Which, it would be pretty easy to do. I mean, if she's already blonde, I don't think going red would be a really big issue for her.
No, I'm actually kind of surprised because I think she's like a natural blonde or something. I even could be wrong on that, but like
Maybe.
I don't know because I've seen her blonde before in other movies. I know that's like more of like a
Remember
dyed
when she was
blonde,
in the vampire movie?
Oh yeah, isn't that Diary of a Vampire or something?
I haven't seen it. I know what you're talking about, but no, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I think Brad Pitt was in it.
Yep.
I think the other thing too that was kind of interesting that what made this one kind of a departure from their typical Spider-Man stories is that that it was Mary Jane that was the first girlfriend instead of Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Which was actually she ends up, of course, Gwen Stacy ends up showing up in Spider-Man 3 just more as like a wedge in between just to be a wedge for their relationship.
Yeah, she really didn't have no real ploy. She's just
and actually, I think Gwen was actually. I think her character was like dating, wasn't it like
Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock at the time?
Yeah, fucking Eric Foreman.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was
Eric
him,
Foreman,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
it
shit.
was. That's why he. Had
He's
to
like,
leave.
oh shit, dude, that's your daughter
really,
up there.
that's why he left that '70s show in the later seasons was because he went to go film.
Yeah, he's busy. He's filming, doing
Spider
movies and shit. You know, it's funny.
No,
though.
it was for Spider-Man. Really, it was for Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's funny. He could have been an alright Peter Parker, maybe. Maybe
No,
more of a goofy Peter Parker.
maybe.
If I think he would have been a pretty good true to the '70s Peter Parker.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
he was
there you
just,
go.
'70s, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
that's
like
what
Peter
do.
Parker to the '70s,
Yeah, that's what needs to happen.
who occasionally still smoked weed.
That's actually what needs to happen, like in the new Spider-Man, like No Way Home. They need to have like the guy that was Eric Foreman, like
Hey, look,
be
it's
like a
Spider
'70s
Hippie.
version of Spider-Man or some shit.
Or even another version of Venom.
Oh
That would be pretty cool.
boy! But yeah, so that was one deviation. That was that Mary Jane was the girlfriend first and everything. Then of course, who else?
Which I enjoyed that. I wasn't like opposed to it by any means.
No,
I
not
thought
at
it was
all.
like a nice touch. I mean, they played it out very well.
It was fine, I guess it just, I guess Sam Raimi didn't think about writing like his first girlfriend dying. Then of course,
Right.
That
That might have been a little much for everybody at that time.
And it's funny that actually that was sort of what they were nodding to when like the guy like threw her off the bridge.
Mhm.
There.
I was wondering if that was supposed to be
I think
all
that was
that.
kind of
Yeah.
a nod to
Like,
the Gwen Stacy getting thrown off a building kind of thing. Except
It's either her or this bus full of whoever's.
this bus full of kids, on a field trip in the middle of the night.
And then Spider-Man's probably thinking like, well, I can just make that many kids with Mary Jane, so I'll choose Mary Jane.
Well, I mean, he does go for Mary Jane first, of course, because he don't know those kids. And
Yeah,
even then,
he
what
doesn't
were those
fucking
kids
know.
doing?
Yeah, what
were those kids
at
doing
the
exactly?
middle of the night?
In the
Come
middle of the
on.
night, a field trip.
Yeah.
It's kind of late out.
very irresponsible of those
I mean,
kids.
unless daylight savings was over really hard for New York that year at that specific point in time, where it was like 4 o'clock, but it's
the
like
latest
dark
I
as
feel
fuck.
like that could have been probably would have been. I want to say at the latest I want to say like 6 or 7.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because people are on the bridge and they're trying to get home.
I've been on field trips where we come home at like 7 or 8.
I think it's dark. Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't give them a pass.
I don't know. This is
Fucking
something I feel like I had to point
Yeah,
out.
fucking
though.
assholes.
What a fucking goblin. And Sam Raimi's imagination.
God, I love the outfit too that they made for fucking William Dafoe. That was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. I know some people thought it was kind of corny looking. I thought it was fine.
Yeah,
I
I enjoyed it.
Costume for the most part, it seemed functional.
Mhm.
I guess it would look kind of goofy, or if it was just more of like a latex outfit, with like the purple accents on it
Right.
and shit.
Yeah.
That would have looked kind of goofy. I mean, really,
I
Green
would've
Goblin's
enjoyed
it's a comic book character. It's gonna look kind of goofy.
Yeah, no
Try-
matter
try
what,
being
somebody's
alive.
will embrace
It
it,
was
right?
like military,
Yeah, pretty much.
military science grade bullshit, So it's like it wasn't gonna like. I imagine they wanted it to be optimal for like wind or aerodynamic.
Yeah, I think they looked at it. Yeah,
say.
more like it was gonna be in the military, so it needed like a military graded like suit.
Exactly.
And
Something that
actually,
can
like,
warm
if you-
and protect you from
Yeah,
shit.
it looks more like a flight suit than anything like that.
I think
like
that's what they were.
yeah.
That's what they were going with because like I think the whole Goblin thing was like
High
after the
altitude,
fact
yeah.
when
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe's Osborn goes fucking nuts after taking the serum and shit. Speaking of which, isn't that right? Just grabs it like back to formula, yeah, and just like fucking throws that dude out the window and shit.
Oh my God, Norman! Norman! Back to formula.
It's kind of funny too because I remember playing the Spider-Man tie-in game that came out like a year later, or maybe it was around the same time on the PS2, and I thought it was kind of funny because I remember some of the scenes were actually a little bit different because like in the movie like that one dude like tried to save Norman by like trying to give him CPR and shit,
yeah.
like come on, But like
Wake up,
in the
Dad.
game, he just kind of walks in. It plays out about the same, but when he walks in there, he just already assumes he's dead. But he's just like crying. Oh,
What?
know? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just like crying and kind of sort of. You don't hear him cry, but like
No.
you see him remorsefully, just kind of like.
I imagine they didn't want to put that. I mean, imagine
they
there was
did-
a version
basically-
where they put it in the game, but then like somebody stepped in and like, nah, let's just leave that out or something. Like,
But basically, the CPR did not happen in the game. He just sort of was remorseful and was sad, and then but he still got thrown out the window anyway. He still got thrown out of the chamber window. So either way, he ended up dying.
Mr. Osborn, are you all right?
Yeah.
So and speaking of dying, that was the other thing that was different too, because like in the game, like you actually beat Goblin on the bridge instead, because like how in the movie, like Goblin like takes Spider-Man into that one old like dilapidated building.
Yep,
and
the
they
like
had
church
final
or whatever.
battle
Yeah.
there.
Dilapidated.
believe in me as I believed in you. I've been like a father to you. Be a son to me now.
I have a father. His name was Ben Parker.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Oh.
Peter.
Don't tell Harry.
But like the only, I mean, what was the same is that like Galvin gets killed by his glider. But the only difference is that like when he gets killed by it in the game, like it hits him, but he just like he's laid out, and
instead of pinned up
instead of
against
just
the
being
wall.
pinned up against the wall, he just gets laid out in the middle of the bridge, But like the dialogue's about the same, where like he's like, "Don't tell Harry," It's kind of
Don't tell Harry.
it was similar.
Mr. Osborn. Why?
Surprised? Yes, I suppose you would be. But the best surprise is still to come. Tell Harry I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
But yeah, I just kind of find those notable differences. And the other thing too that I thought was kind of interesting is like the characters that were actually introduced in the first Spider-Man game, because in the game, like you actually get to see Shocker and Vulture.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Well, I didn't have a PS, so PlayStation.
But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with that playing that game.
I still have that game.
I even think you fight I think you end up like sneaking in like the Osborn,
I never
like
beat
an
it.
Oscorp or whatever. I think you end up having to fight like a big mech or something at some
Really?
point. Yeah, or some crazy boss like that. Like,
What crazy boss I was
Forever ago.
what crazy boss I was always fond of was the Carnage Doc Ock from the PlayStation 1 Spider-Man. I always thought that was super fucking cool.
the what was it?
Monster Ock.
Monster Ock. Yeah, that's what they called it. Yeah, I know. My buddy was kind of terrified of that boss at one point. Because
Really?
Yeah, because I could understand because when you're a little kid, the music's
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
intimidating, and then he's making all that crazy noise.
Literally
Shit.
chasing your ass
Yeah,
down
you're just trying not to get
right
fucking-
behind you, and that's all you see.
I mean,
is like,
honestly, that was a pretty stressful part of the game, honestly, because there's a few times I fucked up and he would catch me. It's like it's not too bad on easy, but if you play like even on normal or above, it gets to be pretty fucking stressful because he catches you so much quicker in that game. But
I really would like to see an iteration of that on live TV.
Wait, wasn't that what you told me, Ponzio? Someone told me they were like remaking like the first.
Yeah, a good while back they're supposed to be remaking the original PlayStation 1 Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
I don't remember who was headlining it or who was even like running a part of the project whatsoever or who okayed it, but hopefully here within the next like year or two we get a actual Spider-Man 1 Spider-Man PlayStation 1 remake.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool, but I think they're probably going to be really more focused on just getting the new Spider-Man PS5 game out. The one that has Miles and Peter Parker.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're fighting against like a symbiote or something in that one, aren't they?
Are they?
I don't remember what they're fighting
Maybe.
against.
I honestly haven't seen any gameplay or heard
I just saw
any
the
news
one
about
trailer.
that.
I know that they were fighting some kind of baddie. I thought
I
it was
thought
like a symbiote or something.
the Miles Morales one was just the same Spider-Man one, just
Yeah,
with
it's just a
Morales.
continuation of the story.
Yeah, that's
Oh, is
basically
it?
Spider-Man. That's like, I mean, it's funny because I think
Yeah.
the new one's called Spider-Man 2, but technically Miles Morales was like the kind of like a spin-off sequel thing. They just featured just Miles for the most
No,
part.
it's called, like, there's only 2 games in that franchise. The second one's just called Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah, but I mean, like the new one that's coming out, I think they're just calling.
There's a new one?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The one on PS5.
Yeah, that one came out on PS5, the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, that came out on both on PS4 and PS5. But there's a new PS5 game they're just calling Spider-Man 2, which is supposed to be a direct follow to the first one. Yeah.
But I thought this one was supposed to be...
No, Miles Morales already came out.
No, I know, but I'm saying I thought it was a direct sequel to the PS4 Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think which Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know that's what I thought too. But if you look up Spider-Man 2 PS5, it'll show you what the game is. They're actually calling it just Spider-Man 2. So basically, Miles Morales is just like a spin-off game, but also a sequel too, kind of.
Yeah, it's called... when I type in Spider-Man 2 PS5, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales comes up.
Let me look.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. But it also says that it came out in 2020, so it's...
Yeah, so that's kind of... Oh, yeah, Marvel Spider-Man 2 game, 2023. That's when that's coming out. That's not coming out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Marvel Spider-Man 2... There's a character switch. Oh yeah, Venom. There he is. And like on this, I'm looking at some of those thumbnails. But yeah, so they are just calling that one just Spider-Man 2.
I'm gonna watch the trailer real quick.
Interesting. Really.
But anyway, digressing hard back into the first Spider-Man film, the first Sam Raimi movie. Oh yeah, there's another deviation. I think this is the first time they did it too, is with like the actual just like. Organic web shooting. That was a thing that was different. I don't know if any other interpretation did it before.
Yeah, I don't believe so either.
I thought it might have been like that in a run of the comics, but I don't think so. So I've always seen it as web
that's the
shooters.
first time I ever seen it. Because before that, it's always been just like the web cartridges.
Yeah, the web shooters all the way. That was the whole reasoning for his hand movement, because he had to put a certain pressure right there on the palm, but he used like the...
Yeah.
So
I thought that was kind of an interesting take on it.
Yeah, because he could easily open up his entire hand and it would still come out of that same place.
I mean,
Maybe he uses it for aim.
Well, it understands like when it's a fist, because it's a pressure plate. That's what it is. So it knows that like when he is making a fist, because it's too much pressure compared to just those fingers when at its hardest pressure.
Go, Webb! Fly! Up, up, and away, Webb! Shazam! Go! Go! Go, Webb, go!
But yeah, I thought that it actually kind of made sense even when I was a kid watching. Well, he does get bit by a spider. I think biologically that'd be one of the powers you'd get to have like all the spider's abilities. Instead of just being able to like climb on stuff,
No, like it made sense to me too.
So I was like, but I guess it also sort of took out like the strategies you need to come up with if you ran out of like web shooters. If you ran out of his web cartridge, so you basically had like unlimited amount of webbing.
Yeah, and he only lost it when he got stressed. I guess.
Yeah, that was about it. He only lost it whenever he.
Which makes sense. Like the body is like putting off different chemicals, so.
Yeah, because I think that in the second movie that was like a part of the plot where he like was trying to get his powers back because he just kind of gave up being Spider-Man too for a little bit.
Dude, I really loved it, and I loved when they did that, and they recreated that cover, the Spider-Man cover with the suit in the trash can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that was really cool actually.
Yeah,
really
I'm talking. He's walking away in the rain in the alley.
Yeah, I think that because there was like a comic where he just abandons being Spider-Man for a little bit because he had like his life issues going on.
J.J. Jonah.
Oh yeah, that was funny. He was like all sad, kind of. It was actually kind of missing Spider-Man.
Just took it easy on the guy.
Yeah.
Here's the web sling.
The second.
I'm that fucking thief. I want Spider-Man's head.
Yeah, it was funny at first. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the city really needed a hero, and then he finds out Susan's like, "Oh my god, he's a menace!"
Oh, I loved it, dude. It was
immediately turns right the fuck around as fast as he saw it.
Dude, speaking of JJ,
Triple J,
in that new trailer, he looked
pretty good.
For the Tom Holland one.
It looks really
good. He looks just like fucking.
That's exactly
Gordon.
the same.
He looks like Gordon from his version of James Gordon.
Oh yeah, from the Dark Knight Trilogy or something?
I thought I was the only one who thought that.
No.
I've been wanting to say that.
Well, there's a trench coat on, the big hat.
Yeah.
That was in the Dark Knight, right? Dark
Yeah,
Knight?
remember when he was Jimmy
Yeah.
Gordon?
He was Ben Affleck's commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, Ben Affleck's?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember being somebody else in Dark Knight.
No.
But yeah, okay. But yeah, I remember that in Ben Affleck's. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, I don't know. But it's funny that guy looks exactly the same. Like you didn't need to de-age that guy.
No, not at all. You need to take off the.
You know.
Sorry, I'm eating everybody.
I mean, he keeps his shape though. You know, remember that time Remember that one time?
Don't look at me
I'd
like
mask it.
Remember that one time J.K. Simmons was like ripped as fuck?
Yes.
that. Dude, that was crazy.
That was insane.
Stupid.
He looked like Omni-Man.
Right? Just hulking huge.
He
like,
could be Omni-Man. Shit. I mean,
Live action Invincible, please.
Yeah, there you
That'd be
go.
really cool.
Maybe after they finish this new cartoon, and they'll.
But yeah,
do
he
live
doesn't look
action.
like he's aged much at
No,
all.
it didn't-
So
He did not need to be de-aged on like a certain Doc Ock dude.
Right.
Well, Alfred Molina.
Alfredo,
Actually, I don't.
my boy.
Well, that's the thing. I'm now seeing things where he isn't de-aged.
He's not.
Really? He just looks that good?
Yeah,
don't
like
know.
you know when we first see him, like initially when he's like, "Hello, Peter."
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Pam.
Yeah, when he's like doing all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he looks stupid young right there, right?
You okay?
You can tell he's CGI'd down.
You okay?
But
Hmm.
later on in the new like trailers, he doesn't.
What
look,
does he
looks
look a little
old.
older now?
Yeah, it doesn't look like
Okay.
they. I mean, if they
I
did
guess I'd have
de-age
to-
him, then they fixed it up really fucking well.
Well, I would definitely have to watch them back to back at some point. I could do it later. But there is one thing that I do know that they actually made his tentacles red. I don't know how I feel about that.
That's for.
Don't say anything.
That's a
'cause
plot
that
point.
Could, yeah, that could be a spoiler that you don't want to.
Yeah.
Because you're saying you don't want to like expose yourself to spoilers, but we do
Well,
know why.
I
Because
mean,
it shows it in
Yeah,
the
it shows
trailer.
why.
well, I mean, I don't mind if,
It's the
if it,
nanotech that he's absorbing through his tentacles.
oh yeah, I can see
Testicles.
that. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. I mean, I don't care about stuff that's in movie that's part of like the
Okay, yeah, I was gonna see
that's
that's what I was
part of
saying.
like the official stuff that's being released. You know, I don't
Right.
mind that. I just don't want to listen to like all these YouTubers tabloiding the fuck up. You know,
Oh,
on
that I
YouTube.
completely understand. Yeah, yeah.
You know, I ignore all those dudes.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
not
'cause
watching all
just-
that stuff. No, I don't want any like their
Like,
speculation.
oh, what if?
Opinions.
Like, I don't know how many times I've seen like Tobi Maguire confirmed or Andrew Garfield
Right.
confirmed.
I
You
don't
know.
like that. And then they just like, I know exactly what you're talking about because it's just like they throw these like what if scenarios off at you. I mean, sorry, not pointing at you, big ounce, but. And I think it's honestly them getting paid by the executives to be like, hey, push the public's opinion this direction. So, you know.
Like,
Yeah.
honestly, these guys are like just like they're just doing so much like clickbaity stuff, and they're talking about so much stuff that they want to happen. Like, it almost seems like they're purposely setting themselves up for failure just to get mad when it turns out it's not what they thought. You know, just so that they can make like more videos
Well, that's
about
the
being
thing,
angry instead of being hopeful. You know.
And that's the thing, what I'm saying is like, yeah, they get paid.
So I was
And then they
like,
get paid to
whatever.
react in like that angry way, even though they know that's not how the film's actually going. They're just getting told to say this or being even them. Well, maybe they are. Maybe they are actually angry because maybe they're given false information to give out, and they don't realize it's false information. You know, so when,
Yeah.
when they actually see it, they're like, "Hey, what the fuck? Like, I thought we were doing this. Like, now we're not doing this." So, but
Yeah.
no, I've only seen video like footage. I haven't actually seen any like commentary or stuff like that. So.
Right.
But yeah, he does get the for spoilers, whatever. He does get the red shit from like.
Okay, that makes sense,
Parker.
yeah.
When he goes to like punch him with the tentacle, he like this shit like comes up and he stops it, and he's like.
Oh, they actually had a new TV spot that showed him like actually them crawling on his
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see
And
that.
even that's where I'm talking about. Like he doesn't look de-aged.
All right, let me pull it up real quick.
Let's pull up an image or something or a clip.
I mean, if they do it really cleanly, but they don't. It's not heavy CGI like it was when, and he doesn't even look that young from when they first show him. Like in all the shit now, it actually looks like his normal age, I would think.
Yeah, I don't know. I would. That's the sort of thing because I know it's been like almost 20 years since the Spider-Man 2, but he didn't look like a really young dude even when
No.
we first see him in that movie.
Maybe look like early 40s.
or something, you know. So I mean, he seemed like somebody that might be kind of consistent, other than maybe having way more gray hairs now instead of.
They probably put makeup on him. I imagine.
I mean, I feel like the dude like that, as long as he doesn't like really let himself go, like you could just kind of do some makeup and like dye his hair and stuff and kind of make him look about the same. I mean, maybe a little digital trickery, you know, but not like a
he does look
full-on
like
overhaul.
he's older, but I wouldn't say he looks like he's aged a shit ton.
Yeah.
He definitely doesn't look like he's like too young for the role, you know? Because I know, like, trust me, I know what you mean. When they first showed Doc Ock, I mean, it was awesome seeing him, but at the same time, you're just like, that just looks really young and just doesn't look right.
What, when you first see him in the new No Way Home movie? Like when they
the first trailer, like very first trailer we ever saw.
Yeah, well, it was kind of neat because he looked like exactly the same, you know, like he did in 2002. I was like, yeah. And I already heard, even before that movie dropped, I heard that they were going to DH him anyway, using that.
Yeah, even he came out and said.
Yeah.
Well, they have to a little bit, but me, I personally, I think it's just makeup. I mean, I don't think, because then the first trailer that they should give us, see right there.
Yeah.
He doesn't look fucking super CG'd, does he? No, not at all.
Not really.
Mm-mm.
Well, that'll be interesting to see when that actually happens. Oh yeah, and Sandman, he's gonna be returning, and I
Maybe
guess
it got just that good.
Yeah, he's gonna be returning. But I thought what was kind of interesting is that like in the trailers for like the new Spider-Man, like I think it was you hear Doctor Strange saying that like all these villains died fighting Spider-Man, but
not all of them do.
But he's the only one that didn't die fighting Spider-Man. He just kind of disappears at the end of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, Sandman.
Sandman's the only one that didn't actually die fighting Spider-Man. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Like what unless that's like going to be like a variant of that, you know, which I doubt because it seems like they're pulling these directly from like, the Raimi films. Well, those particular villains anyway.
Well, dude,
What if, comma?
well, I don't remember if fucking Dr. Connors died.
No, well, Dr. Connors didn't die either.
Yeah, and he just shows up.
He didn't die.
Right, he shows up in the new movies.
Yeah, so I'm kind of interested to see what happens. Oh yeah, speaking of Dr. Connors, he doesn't transform at all in Spider-Man 3.
Well, that would have been what they were gonna. Oh, dude, it would have been awesome with the.
Wait, did that one guy that you mentioned talk about like when he had that extended like thing?
Oh, I imagine he talked about that.
Did that like 6-hour video? Like, I wonder if he talked about him like becoming the lizard at some point.
Oh, I imagine he does. Yeah, I imagine.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I would have liked to have seen that.
He showed up in what, all 3 movies, didn't he? Or is it just 1 and 3?
No, I think he showed up in like 2 and 3. I think he did. And he didn't show up in 1. I don't think he did.
No,
or maybe he did.
No, he did.
He showed up in 1 and 2, not 3.
Yeah, he did in 3 because he was like the one at the lab and he gave Peter gave him this little bit.
He was in all 3.
I think he was in all 3. I just think he was in.
I'll go to the
no, you're
actors
actually
page.
completely right because he shows up in 2 as his science teacher, and he's like, "Hey,
you're showing up really late, you know, like what's going on? You're doing so good. You're really smart, but you're doing really bad in school."
And then he's like, "You gotta get that paper done on Otto Octavius."
He wasn't in the first one because he was in high school.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember him in the first one.
And that's where I corrected myself. He's like, "No," because he were first introduced to him in the second one.
But he was missing the arm when we first saw him, so you know.
Fuck yeah, I did.
And
yes, he was.
And it's kind of funny too because the character.
So subtle.
It's kind of funny too because I think Sam Raimi already had like in the works of like what he wanted to do with that character.
Almost definitely.
And it's funny because I think that was gonna happen in 4 at some point, wasn't it? If Spider-Man 4 would have come out, and then like of course right after like 3 happens and Sam Raimi's done making the movies, like then the 4th, well in the Amazing Spider-Man, then that's when we get the lizard. That's kind of funny.
No, dude, he was actually. From what I've heard, he was trying to save Venom for like Spider-Man 5.
He did.
That's what I would have done.
He did back out himself though.
Yeah, he didn't.
That's
he
the crazy
not
thing.
Do Spider-Man 3 yet.
Yeah, because he was like, I don't have the idea going. Like I don't have it all together.
It was very manufactured. It wasn't created.
It was weird.
So he actually stepped away after that.
I know my understanding of that is that there was like a lot of like studio interference.
That's what I
like
mean
a lot
when
of
I
like
say manufactured.
Yeah. Like executive, like
it sucks if you just give the guy some room to think, and he just got off doing what? How many like, what the fuck was he doing before Spider-Man?
Ash.
Yeah, like how many Ash movies did he do in a row? Shit like that. So it's like, I think like maybe he was kind of like tired of the franchise thing. Just wanted to take a quick break to get a fresh thing and then come back. Maybe, who knows? It's hard to say, but I think if they would have just gave the guy some time to breathe, we would have had a really good Sam Raimi verse.
Well, we wouldn't have gotten like all that many villains in like one movie, because like that was the sort of thing, because you had to deal with like Sandman and that whole thing, and then you had to deal with like Harry Osborn, like
I bit my tongue.
Harry Osborn hating on Peter Parker, like, because he found out his identity from the last film, and that. So now they got to deal with all that shit, and then of course, then Venom and Eddie Brock and like Gwen Stacy.
Yeah,
that's all thrown in the mix too, in terms of like trying to like.
I think if they just would have
add more shit.
if they would have pushed Venom for the 4th movie, I think that would have been
fourth or 5th movie even, really, because we still had to get to the whole like Connors thing, when it becomes the Lizard and everything for 4. That's why I think like the Spider-Man 3 would have just been more self-contained with just like Harry Osborn and like him finding out about who Peter Parker was.
Well, even the Sandman, I think.
And even that wouldn't have been too bad of like a kind of a side thing, just to kind of fill in some more stuff.
Yeah.
No, most definitely.
Yeah, because that's all. I did like that they were trying to like find out like who Uncle Ben's real killer was.
Mm-hmm.
So like that would just be like another kind of just like those two things I think would have been enough, instead of having to try and throw in like Venom and then like all that other crap.
And I can see where that's like you said, Big Al's the manufacturer side of things. They're like, hey, what's everyone's favorite Spider-Man enemy? Like, oh, Venom, yeah, put him in. Just like they're pushing him, but
it wasn't his vision, so
I wouldn't even necessarily been opposed. Maybe you guys have a different opinion, but I wouldn't have been too opposed of like Harry Osborn dying. It's still just the same, but without doing that stupid Venom bullshit.
That would have been fine, just like that.
I think it would have been fine. it's a whole trilogy, to wrap up like Harry's arc, as a character, finding out the truth, and then like trying to save his friends, like kind of redeem himself after doing all that bullshit. And they tried doing with to try and put a wedge between Peter and Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Because even like that stuff was it was goofy and it was kind of over the top ridiculous, but it still wasn't horrible or anything.
I was trying to think of like how could they keep him going, but he was kind of like to the point of like, hey, I need redeemed, like, use right, dog. I done fucked up.
Yeah.
I done fucked up.
Yeah.
Bun done, but
I don't know. It just really was like not handled as well as the first 2 films, I thought. But it's fine. It's whatever. I still enjoy it.
It's still.
I still enjoy Spider-Man 3 on some of those because it just gets so crazy. Even when like Peter Parker has to put it on like the black suit and everything, and just dancing around, getting all cocky and shit.
I enjoyed it for what it was.
Oh yeah, of course that just spawned like a whole shit ton of Tobi Maguires crap.
Oh my god, yeah.
There's
so many YouTube poops and shit. I will say, however, I really enjoyed how they defeated Venom. That was like my favorite part of that whole Venom arc.
Yeah, the bells. Ding, 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 ding.
No, I thought that was actually
bells.
super cheap, honestly.
What?
Yeah, I didn't like that. I mean, I liked the idea, I liked the concepts,
so
but I just
cool.
hate the execution, man. Like, let me just, like, pound them into the ground and run around, like, just with a stick along a fence. No, that's so childish, man. Like,
I don't know.
That's like putting him in a, what's it called? The Iron Maiden. That's exactly what he fucking did to him.
Well, at least it wasn't doing another bell tower scene. For
that bell tower.
No, I'm glad they didn't do another bell tower scene for sure. But
like,
I think they
even Let There Be Carnage couldn't help themselves but do that too.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
I like the whole blow him up with the goblin grenade thing.
Yeah,
I thought that looked cool.
Yeah.
That looked really cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think they could have done more with the sound thing.
They put him in an Iron Maiden and then blew up the Iron Maiden.
Or how about this? Just not have Venom in the movie, period. And
but like for what we got. No, I agree with that too. But like for what we got, I'm just appreciating what we got.
Nah, I mean,
and how did fucking Harry blow the fuck up? Like, we all know that Goblinade took Venom out and Eddie's bitch ass. And then fucking Harry just like, nah, I'm gonna look this thing straight at it as it blows up.
You know what the crazy thing
happened
is?
to Spider-Man too.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know what the funny thing is that, like, remember that piece of the Venom suit that Peter gave the Connors.
Yeah, he still has it.
He still has it, and honestly, they kind of sort of might have been able to set up like a Carnage movie later, at least, you know, because then that piece would have spawned into Carnage. Because
I'm sure Connors would have tried to give it his blood or something like that.
Honestly, watch it. Like if there's like some
that would be cool. If there's like feeding it blood and it turns red.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would have been fucking cool.
Yeah, right. Like it would have been like part of like Connor's experiments going wrong or some shit. But honestly, watch, that'd be kind of cool if they like do that where like after No Way Home happens, if there's like some end credit scene or whatever. And like that, honestly, that'd be a good way to bring Carnage back into this whole MCU thing. Honestly, from that little piece that was left in Carnage lab later. Because I mean, they already killed out the Let There Be Carnage one, so you know.
Yeah, that is.
Wouldn't that be some crazy shit? If the lizard we see. Sorry, guys, I'm still eating.
Well, that's the Connors one instead. That'd be kind of a good twist on it. But like from the Sam Raimi. The Sam Raimi one instead of the Andrew Garfield movies.
See, fucking Ninja's already in my head. He knows what's up. No, that was right. I would think that would be super cool.
No, I would like that. There's like a lot of potential that they could do to kind of bring back all these movies.
So much potential.
Like from Tobi Maguires
everything was left open ended, almost kind of.
Well, now that there's a multi, like I am kind of. Now some people may kick me in the teeth for this.
I know I will.
I was getting it regardless. No, I'm just kidding.
But sometimes the whole like bandwagon for TV and movies kind of really piss me off. Like I know like the multiverse really does work for the MCU. Like,
for
it really does, yeah.
At this moment.
But then this is like, God damn it! Why is everything gotta be a multiverse now? It's like.
Okay, I will argue that DC did it first.
No, I'm not saying like with DC, because like, I know they're gonna do that shit too. But I've just been.
Well, yeah,
I don't know. I just see. I feel like.
Well,
I'm seeing it more and more.
I'm not gonna say the word that's all. That's that we're gonna put any blame specifically on anything. I'm just saying that it doesn't help that like Rick and Morty is a show that has a bunch of like different universes.
Rick and Morty did it first.
but I'm just saying that it doesn't help that you got shows like that now and everything's trying to do like multiverse kind of things.
No, I had no idea that they got the Council of Ricks.
Shit, even Neon Genesis
straight ripped it from the Council of Reeds.
But honestly.
Yeah. I completely forgot about that until I saw it the other day on YouTube.
Oh, what was it?
Reed Richards.
Yeah, the Council of Reeds.
Oh, yeah.
The multiversal dimensional fucking council.
You could also do the Council of Kang.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kang has a shit ton of his own variants, you know. But
it's just crazy. It just kind of annoys me sometimes that everything is like, oh, wait, we need backup. Multiversal me.
I mean, even Neon Genesis Evangelion sort of has like a multiverse thing kind of happening subtly, but it's
the
there.
Flash did that.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying
when
I said DC did it first, because you know the Flash.
Yeah, when I heard that like
Dr.
Neon Genesis was part of like an ongoing timeline thing. Like,
yeah, did you ever watch that video? The guy explained like the different like timelines that happen in Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I think I had at one point.
Yeah.
But I'll have to rewatch it just because my brain's like that.
But yeah, stuff like that keeps on happening, you know. So, but you know, the one thing though is that I hope MCU because you know like the Sam Raimi trilogy and the what was it, Tom Scott? What was that guy's name that did the Andrew Garfield film? Tom Watts. Yeah, Tom Watts. Yeah, but anyway, or something like that. I'll look that up real quick.
Mark Webb, yeah. Tom Watts did Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I know that they kind of dropped the ball on those movies at some point. I just hope that going forward, that like doing multiverse stuff isn't a way to just.
I hope it's not lazy writing.
Well,
like
I just hope this isn't a cop out kind of thing.
Exactly.
Oh, we fucked up here. Let's just multiverse and we can restart. Because that's the thing. Because they already I felt like they kind of dropped the ball. Let There Be Carnage a little bit and Venom and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, and then of course Venom at the end of that movie was saying, we're like a hive mind across the multiverse kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, I think that is what pissed me off too. Like if it was within its own like universe, okay, I get that. But like, why does the symbiote have to be like a multiversal hive mind? And
it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, but it is.
Yeah, and hive mind things piss me off so much too. It's like, I mean, I understand that the symbiote is like I get that because they were all created like they all spawned from Null, the whatever dude from the Void.
Yeah.
The boy from before the universe.
Yeah, like so I get that like they're all like little, it's him coming all over the universe and they're just connected to him.
Yeah.
But
in the literal
well, I mean,
sense,
it's
right?
just kinda...
like the things that they fought in the first Avengers,
Yeah.
those are organic things like sentient life being formed,
Yeah.
or whatever you want to fucking blah blah blah. My brain, but how is it you take out like a computer and they all just go like limp? It's like nah, that's
Hive
fucking
mind. Fuck
Well-
you.
exactly. And then they do it again with the fucking Avengers 2 and the whole Ultron thing.
Yeah.
It's like god damn it. It's like that. It was
Yeah,
like
they
the
really
hive
did.
mind, and now it's the multiverse. It's like
Ultron.
Multiversal hive mind.
yeah, multiversal hive mind.
Well, I mean, when
Fuck.
you really think about it, though, like the Sinister Six, going back to Spider-Man, I think the thing with that is that the story of the Sinister Six happened in a self-contained universe, like all
Yeah,
these
it
characters
did.
and all this stuff. But now, because of the fact that so many like executives and companies are meddling with trying to who has the film rights to what, this and that, and all that crap, and the thing with Sony and Disney, all this is the story we have now is because of that. That's the thing. Like a story that could have easily been told in its own universe had to be using multiverse stuff because of the fact that the film rights belong to different entities.
Different things, yeah.
So that's why we had like. I mean, it's
So are
cool,
we
and
just
it's
saying-
actually cool that they were able to get something like this to happen because of that. Like, it just shows like how well adaptive some of the Marvel Studios has been throughout this whole process of trying to get up to this point with Spider-Man.
Oh,
but
they've
at the
done a
same
lot of
time,
work.
like now, but at the same time, it's just like, oh, okay.
So we're just literally
this is,
watching
like-
legality on film. Like that's what it
Yeah,
is. They're
legality.
just fighting. They're fighting for legal rights, and then we just get to watch it all
Yeah,
unfold
wow.
in this really
We're
cool
watching Mom and
cinematic
Dad
form.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah, get those rights to film this shit.
Well,
Yeah,
I
sign
I
that
sort of lost my
paper.
train of thought there a little
get
bit,
another
but
movie
I mean
going.
that's the reason why we're even here in the first place, like with No Way Home and the Sinister Six being multiversal because
Because of the Sam
because
Raimi.
of like legalities.
Yep.
True.
Basically is how you can sum
Sam
this up.
Raimi too. Thank you, Sam Raimi.
you
Thank you
but
so much.
well, like I said, Marvel Studios they adapted pretty well with the shit that was thrown at them,
Oh yeah.
despite that. So that's
Most
cool.
definitely.
So that's pretty cool. Oh man, but yeah, you know what? The freaking I guess because I mentioned Harry Osborn, we didn't really talk about James Franco too much.
No.
No, we
did not.
haven't.
I know he's been in a bunch of stuff. Of course, obviously, he done all of those movies with Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
You
Him
know.
and Seth Rogen were good buddies.
Yeah, they were
I
good
guess
buddies, and then James
started
Franco-
doing some like sketchy, shady.
Wait, what
shit.
happened with
Yeah.
James Franco?
He started like talking to like really young girls.
Was it that? I thought it was some other
Yeah.
kind of thing, but okay.
I think
Yeah.
it was that.
I don't
I
know.
want to
Maybe.
say it's
I
that.
thought I don't.
Jamie, look it up.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah. I thought he was like. I don't think he was. Well, I think he was charged with something, but they were lifted because they couldn't find any evidence or something like
Who
that,
knows?
wasn't
But
it?
I know like a lot of people are just like,
But
James
either
Franco,
way,
no.
like his reputation is kind of tarnished quite a bit
Yeah.
now. So that kind of sucks. And that's the other thing too, I guess. Who's like, because they in the No Way Home, trailers, like you see like the Harry Osborn goblin like flying through in some of those scenes. So I
thought
wonder,
it was
are they gonna make
the-
that James Franco, or are they just gonna have to change
No,
his
I thought
part?
it was. No, I thought it was the Defoe goblin.
No, I mean there was that, but then there's one shot of like him flying like forward, like doing a dive towards down something, and like it's dressed just
Yeah, he wasn't wearing a mask.
yeah, it was dressed like the James Franco Harry Osborn.
No shit.
Yeah,
Then I haven't seen that.
yeah, that was in the TV spots, and I
Oh,
don't know if it was
fuck.
in any of the two actual like in the teaser or the regular trailer, but I know that was in the TV spots.
Oh my, oh me, oh
All right,
my.
maybe don't put this in, but maybe put it in. It
What?
says right here that 2 former students from Mr. Franco's acting school had accused him of subjecting them to sexually exploitative auditions and film shoots in the proposed settlement. He did not admit wrongdoing.
What was he charged?
Yeah.
Was he convicted?
Yeah.
Did he like actually go to get punished for it?
Maybe. He agreed to pay $2.2 million to bail himself out.
I don't know if he actually had to go like the jail or like.
No, he just got a slap on the wrist.
So he didn't have to do time or didn't get like seriously.
Well, that's
like,
kind of fucked up thing. Is
convicted.
that shit like that for the rich, it's only a fine.
Yeah.
For like people of our class, I mean, would never do that. But like, I guess I'm not trying to say that that's like something like how am I trying to say this? Like if we were to do anything fucked up, like break the law of any sorts on our class,
No,
it'd
yeah.
be like a good like chunk of like 5 to 10 years of our lives. Like if we were to break into somewhere, if we were to
or
steal
our
like
entire life.
yeah.
For
I'm
something
not
like
If you got
saying
the money, you just pay the fine
exactly.
instead of
But
doing
if
jail
you're rich,
time.
it's just like it's a little fine and it's fucked
I mean, that's
up.
really what it is. If you got money, then you just pay those hefty
Yeah.
fines, and you don't even have to worry about getting like.
So, yeah,
going
at
to
this point,
jail.
I'm not even talking about like the whole child, the soliciting.
Wait, I thought they were just
thing. No, I'm
students,
just talking about like in general, like
Unless
it's,
they were underage
yeah.
students, then that'd be bad.
No,
really
I
bad.
think who knows.
Well, I mean, either way though. But
Yeah,
that's besides the
Franco's
point.
doing a no.
Franco
Franco
did
did a no.
Franco, please.
No, Franco, no.
No, Franco, no! Don't do those
No,
things.
Franco.
Stop it, Franco.
Yeah, you used to be a beloved household name, and with
Yeah.
good old
Now,
Seth Rogen
now
and
I
shit.
name my toilet brush after you.
And now I don't know. It
Yeah.
just kind of, I mean, it's one of those things because an actor does like kind of a bad thing, and then like none. I mean, it's funny because like I still enjoy like the Spider-Man trilogy.
Oh yeah, I'm still gonna enjoy
Even if
Pineapple
James-
Express.
It's like that was just a character, and obviously that was the James Franco of like the 2000s, and not the shitty one that he eventually became.
Yeah.
Right.
So I won't judge that James Franco as harshly.
He lived long enough to
as
see
bad as I
himself
will the
become a
more
villain.
current one from the
Oh, God.
2010s. Who did those bad
Yeah.
things. And that's so.
Yeah.
But also, of course, then you can't help but think, man, maybe he was weird even back then. Shit.
Maybe. Who knows? We'll never know.
Well, I will not let
Dude,
that
whatever
ruin the trilogy
happened
for me.
to Aunt May?
She's still alive, actually.
Really?
The
Yeah.
original Aunt May?
Yeah,
No
the one,
freaking way.
the 2000, the Sam Raimi one.
Damn,
yeah, she's
okay.
still alive. She's like 96, 7 or some shit like
There's
that.
no
God
way she's
damn!
fit
I
to
hope
act.
she
She's like-
shows up in this fucking
That's
new
what
one.
that's what I was talking with somebody that it'd be cool if we had like
Rosemary Harris.
that'd be really cool. Just like it'd be really nice to see her like one more time.
Hell yeah, just once more, because everybody loves
Yeah.
that anime. That's like, and the thing is, they got somebody to portray the comic version perfectly
It
of
was
her.
perfect.
Like,
yeah.
looked exactly like her, man. That was super fucking
Perfect.
badass.
Her daughter looks like her too.
Shit, I'm pretty sure her daughter could play an old Aunt May at this point.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, if she's too old to do it now,
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. There's something special though if they would get her to do it,
Right.
The original person to do Aunt May
Yeah.
one more time.
It's just like, it's like Holland's Aunt May is hanging out with that Aunt May.
Yeah, and I think she's actually about the same age as she's about the same age as Stanley too, which is the funny thing.
Oh yeah,
She's like pushing 100 right now.
Yeah.
But I know that the guy that was Uncle Ben though, he actually died.
Yeah,
like,
I bet
a
I
few
did
years
know.
ago.
I knew he passed for real.
I think he died like
I
early
like it.
2010s or something like that. I know I think he was also about the same age, maybe even slightly. No, that was a different dude. That was the Butler dude. The Butler, the one that was Harry Osborn's Butler. That guy, he was actually a little bit older than Stanley.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
he was an old guy.
He actually
He was old.
He was the first one to go too.
Oh,
actually,
wow.
before all of them did.
That sucks.
I'm pretty sure, or maybe later. I don't know,
Ouch.
but I just know that the only one that's still left was
Did you know
Aunt May.
it was in one of the flashbacks they actually changed the character of Uncle Ben? I thought.
No, but which one?
I thought it was. I thought it was like the
Maybe.
when he goes down in the street.
Oh yeah, Rosemary Harris. That was her name.
I
That's
swear
what
they
that was.
replaced
I don't-
the.
No, I think
Raimi-
it was. No, I
Raimi
mean, he
Ben.
was starting to get older. Though. I think
Yeah, I thought they like.
I mean, he
replaced
was
the
already
actor
old, but like, I
at
think
one
he was
point
starting to
for like a shot.
I think he was starting to like get sick or something. Yeah, because he actually died in 2011. Cliff Robertson, the guy that was
Yeah.
Uncle Ben, and like I mean, it was the same dude. I'm pretty sure. It's just that like I think his face started to get even droopier.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean that movie came out in like 2007, and like he died only like what 5 years later?
Yeah.
No, 4 years later actually. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Only 4 years later, he was gone. He was no longer in this world.
That's
You know.
ugh, scary.
But yeah, I don't know, he definitely lived a full life. I think for the most part, he was like what 80 something.
I'd say that's a pretty good fucking life, really.
He was like pushing 90, I think, at that point. So it's like, he lived for a while.
I saw this hilarious
I still
thing.
enjoy him as Uncle Ben.
Oh no, he was a really good Uncle Ben. I thought, honestly, I mean, he delivered the whole great responsibility line.
Yeah, they did such a good job with that. I will always love that scene.
So glad they fucking did that. You can't have.
That's where it
and
comes
I will
from.
forever hate that they just passed that up in the Amazing Spider-Man. So hard, they passed that up, and
The Amazing Spider-Man, of course, they don't even talk about it at all.
Yeah, they didn't even say the
Tom
line.
Holland
No,
stuff.
they almost do, but he's like, you have a moral obligation. I'm like, you son of a bitch, I'm gonna slap the living shit out of you. You
Yep.
say it, you fucking
remember,
say
Well, that's
it.
the thing, because the Sam Raimi movies are actually where that line came from.
Yeah.
It was like it was actually a narration bubble in the comics. I don't know who was narrating, but it was narration. With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, either or, it came in the comics
and-
first.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like Uncle Ben actually verbalized it on film for the first time in the Sam Raimi
because
movie.
you can't have like a narrator come in and say, and
No,
that
you
exact
know what I mean.
moment.
Like Uncle Ben didn't say that. in
No,
the
I know what
comics,
you
is
mean.
I'm saying.
But how you?
But-
Yeah, because you can't.
I think, it was just like a narrator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
right?
that. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
it wasn't Uncle Ben that actually said it in the comics.
But
I'm
it could have
saying
been, is what I'm saying.
You can't have a narrator come in and say that in the movies. That just would sound weird. So it has to be delivered by Uncle Ben.
Right, but at the same time, it also could have been delivered by Uncle Ben in the comics.
And
that
shit,
would also
honestly,
be
if
great.
it was originally
Yeah.
I mean, it's originally narrated, so really, Aunt May could have said it too.
Right,
Aunt
Aunt May
May
coulda-
could have
yeah.
said that.
The neighbor, fucking
Neighbor-
MJ's dad comes
Yeah,
over and
honestly,
he's
shit.
Right.
Fucking even Willem Dafoe's like Harry or Norman Osborn could have said it too.
Yeah, but the fact that it was Uncle Ben that said it just made it
Kind of immortalized it in
so
some cool way that was unique.
beautiful.
I thought that was
yeah.
cool. But honestly, it's like maybe, and that's the funny thing too, because I remember because I know I watched some nostalgia critic videos. He was kind of talking about like Spider-Man and all that stuff before, and he almost made it sound like, even I don't know if I agree with him 100%, but he almost made it sound like it was just kind of annoying hearing about like that with great power, great responsibility, but okay, yeah, or whatever, kind
That's
of
like an
dismissing
iconic
it.
line.
And some, I don't remember
Goddamn.
exactly.
It's like, how you
I get
supposed
it,
to-
maybe because it's in the comics a lot, it's emphasized a lot in that, but if you don't read the comics all the time, then I don't see how it would be as annoying.
No, I mean,
Because I only remember ever being said like once, and they don't even really go back to it that many times.
Nope.
Throughout the films, I'm talking about like Sam Raimi up to Tom Holland and all that stuff. Really, So I was like, I don't know. It would have been kind of cool if they would have brought it back again, maybe at some point. And it didn't even have to be Uncle Ben. Just said
Yeah,
somewhere.
if Tony would have said it, that would have been awesome.
I mean, yeah, honestly, that would have been kind of neat too. Just like the
I
kind of,
thought
because
he
that was like the
gave-
whole moral of like Spider-Man and Peter
Yeah.
Parker.
I thought he ended up getting speech. I could be completely wrong though. I thought Tom Holland got his.
he did, but it wasn't with great power comes great responsibility.
Well, that's sort of the thing with
But he
Tom
did get a
Holland.
speech.
That's like the one thing is that there isn't like a lot of backstory. I mean, only because
No.
we already know how the backstory goes, but it hasn't been portrayed or like explored that much at all
True.
in the Tom Holland version.
We
So
do have
I
a
think-
timeline though. We do know that he was bit. I think it was 6 to 8 months by the spider before Tony met him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah, it's been like 6 months or something like half a year or something.
Yeah, I just don't remember. Yeah, we'll go 7 to be very safe.
So within that 6 months, there's so much. There's so much to happen. Sorry,
I know,
I just
right?
yawned.
But
I
no,
mean-
a lot does. Yeah,
I
like
mean, it makes sense because like he didn't even get a chance to like actually develop his own suit yet, like the other two.
no, he still had his fucking pajamas on, literally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that one later. But I will say this, that if it would have had like a whole year or at least a year and a half of being Spider-Man, then Tom Holland would have had a suit, but eventually like his own good like unitard suit at some point. But unfortunately Tony like just steps in like, hey bitch, I need you to fight my fucking petty fight with my buddy real quick.
Goddamn, am I so glad that they actually gave him a real suit instead of a CG suit.
Oh,
Yeah.
in the Raimi verse.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was
and in the
and also in the
what's
Andrew
his
Garfield.
name?
Yeah, I just call him the Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Trilogy.
Mark Webb universe.
Mark Webb, yeah. Mark Webb.
Yeah.
Mark
Funny, his
Webber.
name is Webb.
Yeah. Let's start talking about Mark Webb.
So yes, so we got over, I think, generally, like the whole trilogy of Sam Raimi. But what are you guys' personal feelings like? Where were you guys when you first saw these films?
Well,
Let's go. Where were you when you first saw 2002 Spider-Man?
I was being conceived.
Well, yeah, you weren't alive yet when that movie actually came out. I know me and Ponzio were.
Damn right.
We were only 9 years old at the time.
But I do remember watching it.
Well, I guess I'll start real quick because I was actually living in Florence, Kentucky at the time, and I remember we went to the theater to go watch it. And I know me and my dad were excited because it was like the first time that we would finally get like a Spider-Man movie. Even though I think there was some kind of live action shit before that, but it was like that campy shit from like the 60s or whatever, and the 70s or something. There's like some campy like live action Spider-Man stuff. But like an actual good quality Spider-Man film, it's like, oh yeah. This
You don't want to watch the Japanese Spider-Man?
I actually saw that. It's really good.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
Cheesy.
Was that live
corny.
action?
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely gotta watch that. Is that the one where he gets a robot,
Yeah.
or was that like I don't remember because I thought
It's
they had.
kind
I
of a
don't
robot, kinda.
I thought they had like an anime too. They had like a robot or something. I don't
No,
remember. It might have been the live action one.
he actually has a spider bike.
Oh, a spider bike. Okay, he actually has like more
Yeah.
gadgets. He's more Batman-esque.
He's got a utility belt and a big old web shooter like this big.
Oh, really? Like huge ass web shooters and shit. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, no, I was definitely excited to get a Spider-Man movie because I had like the Spider-Man PS1 games, the first 2 games, and then of course I watched like the '94 Spider-Man cartoon back in the.
Was actually
day.
getting a movie. Was this like
oh
the
my gosh, a
bee's
movie,
knees?
live action? Oh my god! My little brain was like looking forward to actually getting a movie. So, but that's where I was. So where were you at, Ponzio, when you first heard of Spider-Man?
I want to say Cedar Rapids.
You were in Cedar Rapids at the time?
Yeah, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I do remember going to see it with my little brother, though.
Right.
Not the oldest little brother. But
Enough said.
And I remember, like, much of the, like, watching the movie. I remember, obviously, I saw the fucking movie. I went there.
Yeah.
But I got stupid excited, like, when he... Well, I did get scared. I got scared when he was fucking going through the sweats and shit, and they kept flashing that shit up on the screen. I was like, ah!
Oh yeah, him like sweating and shit. That looked really painful.
Yeah, dude. And then they fucking flashed the whole spider skull at you and everything,
and
and the whole music, and it was intense as fuck. So I was kind of freaked out there. But then, like afterwards, he did the whole running on the wall thing. I was like, oh shit! Started punching my brother. I was like, he's Spider-Man now. Oh,
I
shit.
can't remember, but wasn't like after he wakes up from like doesn't he wake up like right after like Willem Dafoe like jumps up and like like the freaky face like leaps up on I think like a freak and he's just like has his arms like and then jumps and then like
I believe so.
As soon as he leaps forward, then like the fucking
wakes up,
it goes to Tobi Maguires waking up and shit. Yeah, no, that part was pretty freaky and shit, and And
damn, I forgot about the whole being interacting with.
Wasn't that another funny thing too? That like the teenagers in Spider-Man 1, like they all look like they were like in their late 20s, early 30s and shit.
Oh, I had no concept though.
Like they,
I didn't know that.
I didn't think much of it at all because at that age, I thought like even the 5th and 6th graders looked like they were much older than I was. Of course, then when you get older, you're
just like, oh
no,
shit,
they really
those
weren't.
No, those are kids. But and then you watch the movie, you're like, no, those were like college
straight
kids,
up adults,
like adults.
Well, but when, like you said, when we were that young, like everybody that was older than us all looked older than us. It didn't really matter too much, as long as they weren't like obviously in their 20s or 30s. And I guess I wasn't paying that much attention to it at the time. But like in retrospect, when you look back, it's like, oh, those guys look older than like their teacher. That one teacher that was like scolding them and shit.
Let's see, 2002. I'd have been 9.
Yeah, we were 9 at the time.
So okay, and Peter Parker originally gets his powers when he's what, 14?
Well, I think he
Is
gets.
that how they were trying to portray him?
No, he was.
No, in the comics.
I think in the comics, I think if you're going back to like the 60s and shit, I think he was already like out of high school and like early college or some shit like that.
because he was
Oh, no
getting a
shit.
job in the big city.
Yeah, like that was how most of us were treated. That he was already like in college and stuff. And
Yeah, because it was supposed to reflect Stan Lee's life and like how he was like out of high school.
Yeah,
and
because
had
it was
to
actually like when
be
we
out on his own. And
I think it was like in the 90s and early 2000s. That was like I think it
When
was
they
actually in the early
changed it.
2000s when they decided like they wanted to make all like did the Ultimate Spider-Man thing where he's like in high school and everything.
Okay.
You know, yeah, that was like when and that's interesting too because I actually remember when those were first coming out too. Like they had like the first issues of Ultimate Spider-Man, and he was like in high school, and I think that came out maybe slightly before the Sam Raimi movies did. I want to say. Nah, you might have to look that one up and fact check me on that. But I thought that's where Sam Raimi was kind of getting his idea of having him be in high school. Except the only difference between Ultimate Spider-Man and the Sam Raimi movies is that like Ultimate Spider-Man was supposed to be like him during his high school days as Spider-Man, where like in Sam Raimi, like it's at the end of his high school days into his regular like adult life, you know.
Which I'm glad they did that because it kind of with the way Tobi Maguire looks, you know, it makes more sense for him to not be in high school the entire time.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense for him to be like almost done with school, you know, and you know, so that they
did a really good job with that for sure.
At
At least like preceding him with how he was like, you know, later on in like an adult.
Yeah, and I mean those are good. I actually really liked his. I think that was the one thing I actually really liked about the Sam Raimi trilogies. They did a pretty good job depicting young adult life, you know. And even
living on your own, going
and
through
even now, I
bullshit,
mean, he's basically
Going
supposed to be like I think he's supposed to be from like 18 to like 20 or something, maybe early 20s by the end of like the Sam Raimi trilogy, like, you know, like but even then at like 28, that's still relatable.
Oh, fuck,
you know?
yeah. No,
Even
it
at
really
28,
is.
like
I
that's
can't
still
agree.
like yeah, that's still my life.
That's not wrong though. That's exactly
it's starting
how
to
fucking
become
life is,
relatable for
goddamn.
me.
And like that
Moving
is
from
still
place to
my
place,
life.
being
And so
shitty.
kind of watching those films, like I come at it very differently than when I used to when I was like still in high school, you know, or still a kid when I was watching those.
To think that at
Like,
one
it
point
hits
I wanted
me
to be in a
different
place
now.
Like that.
Because it's like, oh, the real world.
Yeah, I see the struggle in your eyes, Peter. Don't worry. I feel
It's
your
like,
pain.
yeah. And that was the thing too, because when we were watching that, we were like really feeling this, like bad for Peter Parker because he was just like getting
Yep.
life was kicking the shit out of him, man.
Oh, so hard.
Got fired from his job for being a pizza delivery.
Oh yeah, what was that dude? That dude from like the Daily Show or what? No, that wasn't him. It was that Indian dude that was running the pizza joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
I don't remember. I know he's
That's
been.
iconic as fuck for me. Just the opening right there. Like when he's just doing his thing and then he's late. And he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just said it was so iconic, but I can't remember.
What? You're talking about in Spider-Man 2 when he's delivering pizzas?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it was funny because he was on his way to deliver his pizza on the
Oh,
scooter.
yeah, he's just like, go!
And he'll go, and then he goes. And then like a crime happens, and then he has to like throw the pizza somewhere
Yeah.
real quick to do his quick change.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love Spider-Man 2.
And then that's funny too, because that guy was trying to about to steal a piece of pizza, and then he webs it away, and some guy
It's like,
down
nope,
like,
that's
"Hey,
mine."
you just stole that guy's pizza."
I want to know how he
Okay,
fucking got in
so-
that closet.
Speaking of Spider-Man 2, that was the first one I saw
Oh, okay.
ever in theaters because I was born in 2003, and my folks took me because they were Spider-Man fans. And,
What year did Spider-Man 2 come out?
2004.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were a year old and you remember that?
A little-
Yeah. No, I
she-
mean I don't remember it, but like I remember watching it later.
Ah,
Right,
gotcha.
But
Yeah,
I
but-
do remember going into Spider-Man 3 in the Spider-Man the symbiote costume.
Yeah,
'Cause
you're
they
probably
had-
been old enough to probably remember that
Yeah.
one a little bit.
Yeah,
'Cause that came
I
out in
do
2007.
vividly remember that one because I wore the suit.
All
And
right.
everyone was like all jealous. They were like, "Oh, Mom and Dad told you I could have worn my suit," and I was the only kid wearing a suit. And I was all like,
I used to have a Spider-Man costume
awesome,
also
actually.
at one
yeah,
point in
it
time.
was so fucking awesome. So I think Spider-Man 3 is my favorite just for that aspect.
Oh, yeah, you probably got more nostalgic value with that because you actually seen it, like brand
yeah.
spanking
While I
new.
don't like, I really didn't like Venom. Now,
Yeah.
But then it just holds nostalgic value for
I mean,
me.
it still is for me too, just because I mean, it's corny now, but at least the whole movie is still fun for the most part, even if it is still kind of a mess. You
It's
know?
the first time I
But
ever
goddamn, did anybody else feel really bad for Peter when like he was like crying when like basically when like fucking Mary Jane was forced to break up with him because of Harry?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they went through all that
I
shit.
did
He was
feel-
trying so hard, and he loved her
really
so
was.
much.
No,
you know,
I have feels for him there.
it's like they did a good job. See, that's what I wanted more, just that, like the personal struggle,
break his fucking
like this
heart.
this love triangle shit instead of all the other stuff that happened. But we already went over that. But yeah, that was pretty painful. Like Tobi Maguire was really selling it too.
God bless
He
him.
did get better as an actor in the third one.
Yeah.
I will say that he improved as an actor. That's weird.
I mean, it's up that he did other movies too outside of Spider-Man at around the same time. So he got more acting ability under his belt.
Because there
Under
are
his
some
ability
times
belt.
where you can see where Kristen is giving like the best performance ever.
Yeah.
And then it flashes to Toby, and it just looks so like monotone and just
Yeah, it was
it's
a little
like you're
bit.
not reciprocating anything.
He was
right
a little bit
here.
drier, I think, in his
Yeah.
performance a little bit. But at the same time, you could kind of see, he's like kind of a geeky, kind of shy. I could kind of see why he would be a little not as expressive as some of the other characters who were more confident at that point in time.
Right, but you
Yeah.
still have to at least have emotion.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like he just looks so void of motion.
I think a little bit. I mean, it definitely got better as the movies went on, but I think that's because, and I don't know if it was like the direction that they gave.
I'm not saying
Tobey
I'm not
Maguire?
saying like all his scenes were like that, because there's some scenes where he does an amazing job, but like when it's those like real like one-on-one.
I just kind of wonder how much of that was him or it was just the direction for his character. You know what I mean? Because a lot of that comes into play too. And I think the idea that they were going for, because like when the movies progress, you see that he has like more, he gets more confident, and he's like more expressive later on. I think they kind of did that on purpose. I think, but I could see why some people
I
might.
hope so.
I think that maybe I can see how some people could be a little bit, not as into him in the first film. But I don't know. I thought he did fine enough. I saw what they were trying to do, so I found it kind of charming.
No, I enjoyed all three movies. Like they all hold a special place in my heart.
No, they're really good. They're really good.
All at different times.
I don't know
Very
when I
lovable
first saw
trilogy.
the second one. I really don't. I think I saw it in theaters.
Yeah, I saw all three of them in theaters. I remember.
I didn't
that.
see the third one. I saw the third one.
Oh, you didn't
I
see the
went
third
to
one
my
in
other
theaters?
cousin's house around Christmas time
Right.
for the first time. They had the DVD, and I was like, "Well, I haven't seen this yet. Everybody, shut up!"
Yeah.
And nobody shut it up because it was Christmas, and I just watched the movie by myself.
Well, I know that the other two movies I ended up watching here, where we live now, I saw them in the theater over there
Okay.
at the mall, and so that's where I saw both of those films. Because by then, by 2004, we had already moved here back in Iowa.
Back from Kentucky, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, those are still good too. Those are still fun for me because I think in 2004 I was 11 at the time, so I was still in grade school.
Dude,
So I was still pretty young, not much older than 2 years before that.
I would have loved if they did something with Bruce Baxter's character.
Bruce, who now?
Is it Bruce Baxter? Bruce Campbell. Bruce
I was
Campbell.
gonna say Bruce Campbell.
Oh yeah, that was that whole thing where everybody
No,
thought
they were setting it up for.
Yeah, I
for
wish they would
Mysterio
have
for
fucking
Spider-Man
done something
4.
with his ass, because they put him in every single one, man.
Yeah, they were gonna do.
wasn't that supposed to be Mysterio or something?
Yeah,
possibly.
Mysterio and I think it was. Yeah, Mysterio and Venom Mysterio and Electro, because there was a reference to Electro in Spider-Man 3.
Wonder
There?
if-
Yes, somewhere. I forgot
Where?
Damn you! Now I gotta look
so
this
while you're
up.
looking that
Just
up.
take my word for it.
No.
Yeah, there's a reference somewhere.
Well, yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah,
I mean,
and,
you should look that up right now.
God damn you!
Exactly.
See,
Because I like, what? That's the first I'm ever hearing about that.
Spider-Man 3 was like the only one that I was actually in high school for, because that came out in 2007. We were already freshmen
Yeah.
by then.
That's the year I made my Facebook.
Yeah, 2007. Fucking Facebook. But yeah, that was man. I mean,
2007, goddamn.
the first time I watched this, I did. I mean, it was cool to see Venom on the big screen.
I didn't know how I felt either because I'm just like, could have done a little better, but I like the way that it looks. But
because that's what me and Dad thought when we watched it, walking out of the theater. That we thought that it's a little bit rushed, but it's cool. And I even talked to them like they could probably set up a. Because I remember the whole Dr. Connors, he saw the thing.
Yeah.
I told Dad about that at the time, and I was like, they could probably do like they could probably do a Carnage sequel
really
or something.
cool
That's what I was hoping for Spider-Man 4.
No, it was not Elektra. It was the Lizard. Dr. Connors and Mysterio were for Spider-Man 4, and then Venom and
see, that would have been cool. Mysterio
Electro
and,
for Spider-Man 5.
Oh
Yeah.
See, because he basically had like a whole plan that he wanted to do. For, like,
does he have a second villain in Spider-Man 2?
I think it's just
Doc Ock, right?
Just specifically Doc Ock. Yeah, there wasn't any other villain in that one.
No, yeah. So I guess if they would have done
Just
the whole
one.
two villain after that, that would have been alright.
Or something. Yeah, that's kind of funny because I think that because 1 and 2 only had like one villain, and then 3 just decided to have like 3 villains. Go way overboard. I mean, there's so much you could tell with just one
because
villain,
they were
though.
setting up. Each one was setting up villains for the next movie.
Yeah.
He didn't want Venom in the second one. He just wanted the 2 villains in the second one.
And I mean, I like that
because he was setting up
villains.
Harry like all 3
third
movies. Yeah, the third one.
Yeah, because that's what they did. Like, because Harry found out like
Yeah.
like Peter Parker's that was Spider-Man by the end of
Right.
2.
So it was supposed to be Sandman for
And
the third
I thought
one
that was
and Harry.
That was a good way to do it by just having one villain, but then set up the next one, throughout the film.
I think it would have been really cool if they would have just kept. If Harry actually wasn't so like. I just thought of this on the spot. If Harry wasn't like so out front, like, oh fuck you, Spider-Man, Peter Parker.
Right, if he would have given him a
kept
chance to talk,
Well, if he would have been quiet about it and kept in the shadows, and then formed his own Sinister Six that way, he's because he already knows who Spider-Man is, he already hates him, but he has all the goblin tech and shit, right?
Yeah.
So if he would have just kept in the shadows,
if he would have gotten smart about it.
Exactly. He would have been smart and tactical. Yeah. He could have created his own Sinister Six. I think that would have been so cool. Fuck, that would have been cool.
Awesome.
And then, he reveals himself later on, like, it's me, motherfucker!
It is me!
I got you late, Spider-Man! Weed is legalized!
Little Gabby Jr.
What are you gonna do, cry?
Fucking, oh, gosh.
And, like, what if he's possessed by the same spirit his dad was? The goblin spirit.
I think that'd be cool too.
Or something. Yeah. Didn't they like try to do that some weird shit like that, like kind of esoteric stuff in the comics, where it's like some kind of weird spirit that took over Norman or something, instead of it just being like he just got like a split personality thing as a side effect of taking the serum or that the stuff that gives him his super strength. I thought that was kind of weird they tried doing that. I think that was the thing in the what was it like in the cartoon or some shit that had something to do with like, I don't know, it was weird how they did that because like they could like I think both Norman and Harry like could see the goblin spirit thing like in the reflection, and there was like some interdimensional bullshit that happened too. I can't remember. I'd have to watch it again.
I do,
but it got really weird with that.
I do remember Harry saw the reflection. But I don't remember the interdimensional stuff.
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Unless
I'll definitely
Norman Osborn got sucked
dimension.
into a different dimension. And
it was just really weird. He just got I'm just gonna say that Harry was tripping on some fucking balls in the cartoon. Man, like he got into some real dark places in that cartoon.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch those. I remember it was my favorite Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked that. I watched that with I was watching that and the Batman animated series at the time, because I think I talked about this before, but I know that my dad recorded a bunch of those for me to watch.
Right.
And they were like both on the Fox Kids network at the time, back in like '97 or so.
When they actually everything came together on one station and didn't hit each other.
Yeah, they didn't. Not everything wasn't.
I was around for a little bit
yet.
of that. Yeah.
There wasn't channel to channel segregation.
Yeah, no, everything was not segregated as much as it is now.
Really though, that's how it is though.
I mean, shit, that was when like Toonami was actually on like Kids WB at one point in that era when
Was
we were
it?
kids.
I don't
Yeah, it
remember that.
was. It actually
Really?
was.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that when Moltar was still the host?
No, this is like with Tom. This is
Oh,
like a little
okay.
bit later. I think this is like in the late '90s, early 2000s or so. I think when they did that, when Kids WB had Toonami on there. It didn't last very long though.
Yeah, I don't remember that shit.
That's
I think
interesting.
they had it for like a year maybe or so, and then they canceled it pretty quickly.
Probably so they
I thought it was cool.
they're probably able to like rent the rights real quick.
I think
see how
even
it did,
the
and then-
theme was a little bit different. It definitely had like because like on Cartoon Network it sort of had kind of like maybe kind of a darker, kind of cooler tone, you know.
Yeah,
This one it was a little bit like I won't say brighter, but it was definitely more of a jaunty kind of like it's a little bit more upbeat.
Starting Monday, July 30th, Toonami comes to Kids WB.
You know, I guess for like it's been a year since I've seen it.
a little more welcoming.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
I get
I don't know.
Instead of no, you gotta be cool.
It was just a little bit more upbeat. I'll say that. You know, the music was not as, I guess, cool for lack of a better term. Right?
No,
You
yeah,
know?
I know what you're saying.
Like it had a kind of different attitude. I think it was.
Oh yeah, it definitely did.
Oh, you're looking at it, Jamie?
Yep, I'm looking right at it.
At what?
The Toonami from Kids WB.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's what I mean. I remember that.
Wow.
Does it say what year or when they aired it?
2001 to 2002.
Yeah, I was right. I knew it didn't. I knew it didn't last that long. It was like there for like a year. They tried to run. They had
That
played
looks
some of the
so
same
weird.
stuff, but I think they played different stuff on there too.
Oh yeah, you want to take a look?
No, I can see it. Yeah, it just looks crazy. That's so crazy.
Yeah, it did not last very long, but it was kind of neat.
Tsunami tracks.
But yeah, so I digress on all that other stuff, motherfucking. But but yeah, and you know what I really liked about Spider-Man? That was like the film score. They were really good.
What, dude?
I love
the
the
music
film.
for.
Like he really
I
added
guess I
to so
haven't
many.
He went
actually
off-
sat
he went
back and
off.
listened to it.
He went all out for the music, dude.
I love the music in those movies. Like they really add to every scene that they're in. You know,
Mhm.
especially like even with like the simple one where like the more heartfelt ones were like Peter's talking to Mary Jane in the backyard and everything, kind of like, you know.
So where are you going after you graduate?
I want to move into the city and hopefully get a job as a photographer, work my way through college. What about you?
Headed for the city too. Can't wait to get out of here. I wanna.
What? Oh, come on. Try me.
I wanna act on stage.
Really? Well, that's perfect. You're awesome in all the school plays.
Really?
Yeah. I cried like a baby when you played Cinderella.
Peter, that was first grade.
Well, even so, sometimes you know people. You can just see what's coming.
What do you see coming for you?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's something I never felt before.
And what for me?
For you? You're gonna light up Broadway.
You know, you're taller than you look.
I hunch.
Don't.
That's one thing I still like a lot is that like they're both like really, they're both just about done with high school and then they're done with high school and then they're like all worried about the future and what they want to do. And like they're very unsure about what they want to do. They think they know what they want, but they're like, I don't know.
It had a slice of life aspect to it.
Like I like that Mary Jane wanted to do acting and everything. And she was like really.
I'm gonna be an actor, Tiger.
Tiger. But yeah, no, I just those scenes, man. I still love those when they're just talking. I think.
No, that's when Kristen Dunst is giving her best. I feel, and then sometimes it's like, come on, Toby, give an equal performance. Make yourself even that much more nerdier.
Right.
But I don't know.
I think he did all right. I think.
No, he still did a good job. But it's like sometimes I wish that he was just more.
Well, I don't know. What was it like? I just remember like going back to that scene when they're in the backyard. He was like, "Man, I cried like a baby when you're doing that one play," and she's like, "But we were like in first or second grade."
It's like I know.
But even so, but I thought that was kind of cute.
No, that was a good scene.
Very wholesome. Very wholesome.
Yeah, stuff like that,
And then
I love it.
What's her face get yelled at again? He's like, get your fucking ass up in here and take out the garbage that you just took out.
We're talking about her dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what part that sticks out to me.
Oh, wait, no. Flash shows up. He's like, yo, I got a new car. He wants to suck my dick in it.
Oh, yeah, like when they're like down the alley.
Yeah.
Like down between their houses.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I gotta go. I'll see you later.
Bad.
I'm surprised he didn't yell, what's up, Penis Parker?
Honestly, he probably wasn't gonna say shit to Peter because Peter just kicked his ass the scene before that, a few scenes before that.
Watch, I bet Flash's dad bought him that car because he got beat up.
He's like, oh, my poor baby.
Here, you gotta show that you got a bigger dick with this. You gotta overcompensate with a new car.
She goes running. Peter Parker just like,
I need to get me a car. Yeah, and then he looks in the ad like, oh hey, look. And that's funny too because he was like trying to look for like a car.
A car, yeah, and then
like they're all too expensive, and they just like settled on like that one kind of older car. I don't even remember
what car he wanted.
I don't remember what it was.
Some. Well, yeah, I'll look it up.
I don't think it was anything special though.
No, it was like old even by that time.
Yeah, it was all
like,
beat up and had like a shit ton of miles, I think.
Or like something like a car from like the 70s or some shit maybe. I don't know. I just remember it being kind of an older car that was it definitely wasn't gonna be as cool as Flash's car.
No.
It got some wheels though, so that's all that matters.
Now, at what point did Flash Thompson become Agent Venom?
Oh well, that happens like way later, like in the timeline. Like, and if you're talking about just like the overall general like
when was
Spider-Man timeline, that's like way later. And I think wasn't he actually dating like Betty or some shit?
I don't know. Well, I was wondering. I didn't know if more or less that Agent Venom, if Agent Venom was a thing by the time Sam Raimi's movies came out.
I don't think it was.
I'll look that up because I didn't find anything for the car. I did find what Uncle Ben was driving. It's a 73 Oldsmobile Delta 88.
Ooh.
77?
73.
73.
I'm going to keep that.
Nice,
there you go. See, that's
and
cool.
what was I about to look up?
Nice, yeah.
Oh, God. I just love
what year was...
Agent Venom, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did you like... I also kind of liked how... that was the other thing, too, that I thought was kind of funny. Is that, like, throughout the first movie, that Harry Osborn was being... Not Harry, but Norman was like acting more like a father towards Peter than his own kid.
I'm something of a dad myself.
In 2011 was the first time Flash Thompson appeared as Agent Venom.
Yeah.
Flash Thompson himself appeared in 1962.
Yeah,
okay,
so there you go. That was way later.
I was gonna say if that piece of symbiote that Connors ended up hanging on to.
Oh, yeah.
To use with Flash Thompson, because Flash Thompson was already in the Raimi-verse.
Well, if Sam Raimi wanted to have made another film, he probably didn't want to wait till like 2013 to make it.
No.
Yeah. And Agent Venom would have already been a thing?
Yeah, because it came out in 2011, so, it's like,
Yeah.
So, no, it was not going to lead up to that at all.
There's that Spider-Man 4, Agent Venom.
Yeah.
The Flash Thompson story.
The Flash Thompson story. You know, that was kind of interesting that they just said, hey, the Flash Thompson, Peter Parker's old bully, give him a fucking story.
Yeah, that was really weird, I thought, that they decided to choose him.
Fuck it, whatever.
But I guess, yeah, well, I think after school he ended up going to, like, the military service.
Yeah, you know, honestly,
and stuff like
I
that.
don't really know too much about Flash Thompson after, because he kind of, for the most part, in any other story that I've ever had interacted with, yeah, he just basically just drops off the face of the earth after like that little part of Peter Parker's story. You know, he's basically originally that's all he was just like a stepping stone for the rest of his life going forward.
Yep.
You know, like, and honestly, who gives a fuck about Flash Thompson?
Me? I
guess he ended up being
somebody did. Obviously,
nuts.
they gave him Venom later, so
yeah.
So we might get a lot of hate for that.
I don't know. Maybe.
What do you mean you don't care for fucking Agent Venom?
I mean, I don't dislike that. That's still kind of cool in a way. I know.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's still
I don't have
weird
anything
choice.
against it. It's just like, oh, hey, there you go. That's another story that I guess they could do something. You got plenty of shit to work
I haven't
with.
seen or watched or read.
But at the same time, I
anything about
can't.
Agent Venom. I
I'll
just
have
know
to
who
say
he
this.
is.
It does feel a little fan fiction-y, just a little. But Venom just somehow getting on Flash Thompson somehow.
Oh yeah, that does feel very.
Just a
fan
little.
fiction-y.
I'm not saying that because I remember watching that video and it looked kind of cool, but I'm just like,
What if it was one of those like what ifs rolled into the main?
That's what I felt like. It's more like a what if kind of thing. Even though I think it probably is part of maybe some kind of mainline canon now. Maybe I don't know.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But it does feel kind of what if.
popular enough
I
where it
guess,
was just
in a
rolled
way.
over
Maybe
into
that's
the-
what I should have said. I should have said that it's what if. It's more like the what if territory kind of thing, or Elseworld if you're in the DC.
Elseworld. But we're not. In fact, actually, I was thinking this. Remember how Big Auntie showed me the one thing of they mentioned Superman and the Eternals?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching that video.
Well, they already mentioned Superman in the Raimi verse.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, because Ant-Man's
He
like, you're not Superman.
Exactly.
You try to handle everything.
Yeah,
on your
they
own.
did.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, in fact, Raimi was already doing the whole Ultra multiverse.
Ultra multi-megaverse.
Ultra
Uh-huh.
mega super stupid verse.
Ultra mega super stupid verse.
Yeah.
Kenshi. And then put
Except for
Kenshi
Ultra
after
Mega
that.
Stupid Verse. That's what I'm gonna call it now. Which actually that'd be kind of fun at some point. Like if there's like at least an animated movie that depicts, that actually depicts the DC versus Marvel.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would actually be a cool animated movie, but
Yeah.
maybe we'll
That
get
would
there
be cool.
eventually. I mean, I feel what else does DC and Marvel need to do in terms of animation?
Yeah, and there's nothing.
Well, they had
like
that slight crossover, I think, with the Titans, Teen Titans.
Really?
Well, Teen Titans and X-Men crossed over that one time in the comics.
No,
Really?
I mean, this was like a cartoon. They crossed over, and like I think they were driving through the back alleyway of some studio.
And Stan Lee was there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
remember
they
that. I
ran in,
actually
yeah.
watched that Teen Titans movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was pretty funny, yeah.
You guys know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I actually watched that one just because, I don't know.
It was
'Cause
there.
I think there was like, I think it was because of the Stan Lee cameo appearance, and I think I already kind of knew about like that whole like thing where like, it's like, when they, oh yeah, that's the other thing. I think they're advertising that where like because they had to fight off against their original counterparts, from like the 2003
To see
Teen
who
Titans.
would survive.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember that.
that's why I watched it because I just wanted to see them come back, and it was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and they're all voiced by the same people.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
what's
Right?
crazy,
Yeah, it's
like-
the exact same voices.
Yeah, right? Like they decided to still come back and do it, even though the animation style was completely different.
Well,
Yeah,
that's why that was fun, is because you had two completely different animation styles going at each other. You
Yeah.
know? Like that shit was
And
fun.
they didn't have to spend any more money on any actors because
No,
it was
not at
the
all.
exact same people from. God, it's so
It's
cool.
going back to that Stan Lee thing real quick. I just thought that was funny that like Rob was like, "Wait, Stan Lee, this is DC," but then Stan's like, "I know, but I just love cameos." Like why is it like still like stuck to their fucking like I think they were driving a cart or something.
Yeah, like a go-kart, I'm
Go
assuming.
kart. No one was like golf cart or security cart things. He's just like,
I just love cameos.
I just love cameos.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, Sam Lee? I'm back. I don't care if it's a DC movie. I love cameos.
Not now, Stan Lee!
Exactly. Excelsior!
What was his cameo in Spider-Man 3?
Oh yeah, that's right. I know in the first one, actually, I know in the first one it was like a really slight one, but I think he was like
He was saving the people from the falling.
He's saving
and stuff.
the kids or something from getting crushed or something.
And then I think in the second one he doesn't. He look over and he's like, "Oh wait, no."
I'm trying to remember.
In the third one, this is his cameo. He looks. Peter's walking by and he sees that he's supposed to get the key to the city, and then he's like, in my Stan Lee impression, "Man, it really does look like." Just don't change my voice whatsoever.
Yeah. I know he appeared in the second one, but I don't know.
It really does take one person to make a difference.
Enough said.
Enough said.
Yep.
Enough said. And that was
then he gets really
I like
high
that one.
and drives off.
Yep.
I know he was in 2, but I don't
I
remember.
remember his appearance.
I cannot remember what he was doing in Spider-Man 2.
I pretty much killed this entire bag. I'm sorry.
But I know there's one cameo. I guess it's really not a cameo, but I just know that it's him. But fucking Joey Diaz on the train scene.
Yeah, Joey
You know?
Diaz.
Yeah,
I'm from New York.
That makes sense. Well, I know and it's fun because I think he was talking about that a little bit, like one of Joe Rogan's podcasts when he was, or some podcast. I know he was talking about it at one point when he was on that movie, which I thought that was kind of cool that he was remembering that. But yeah, no,
I bet him and Stanley were doing coke.
I don't know.
Nah, well,
enough said.
Well, I don't know. It's just kind of cool, just because like I'm used to seeing like Joey Diaz like kind of just being older, like in his 50s, into his 60s and stuff. But like seeing Joey Diaz like
Diaz,
well, younger in his 40s or maybe 30s or something. I don't know. Yeah. He might have already. No, actually, he was probably like 41 at the time. I would think. Cause I think he was born like 1963 or something like that. And that movie came in 2004. So yeah,
probably.
he'd have been like in his early 40s at the time. But he actually still looks significantly younger than he does now. In that movie.
Most definitely.
Yeah. No.
If you want to get to him, you got to do a line of cocaine with me.
Yeah, the
fucking would too.
Somebody just like lines up like, I want Doc Ock's tentacles. There you go. Line them up on the tentacles.
Oh well, here you go. Sorry, Spidey.
It's a good thing that at that time that like social media wasn't as prevalent as it is now. Like nobody had like camera phones quite like they do now. Because if that would have happened now, everybody would have been like, "Oh, fucking look, it's Peter Parker like taking pictures of shit." Yeah. Everybody would have known.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone knew that Tom Holland was Spider-Man before Mysterio told everybody, because he's always taking off his mask. He's like,
everywhere he goes,
I can't breathe. I gotta take my mask off.
Oh yeah, some satellite caught him.
You, but with my mask off. Hey, I'm gonna save this old lady from a churro with my mask off.
Oh, the other funny thing about Spider-Man 2 is that like when Doc Ock was doing his heist, like he was actually stealing literal bags of money.
Yeah.
Like he's not like how old school the heist scene was.
Does it actually say fucking like have the dollar sign on the bags?
Yes. Yeah, he's literally just bags of money with like like money signs on them. Or something. Yeah, gold coins and crap. It's like
old school heist.
Oh, and poor Aunt May was just trying to get another loan, but she couldn't. God. Like, fuck you.
And then she broke that guy's toes.
Oh, yeah, smacked her hand or some shit.
Ow. Yep. No, she broke his wrist there, too.
Oh,
but yeah, she, like, crushed his toes with the old heel stomper, and then, like,
no.
broke his wrist with the old hand slapper.
I broke his wrist.
No, yeah, because she was like, well, I got back into teaching piano, and Peter's like, you did?
Yeah,
and
then
she meant to hit his foot.
Yeah, but then she destroys his foot just with the old fucking...
Didn't she, like, hit the dude's foot instead of Peter's?
Yeah.
Like, crushes it into the linoleum.
Oh, like, what?
The old toe crusher.
Yeah, she was kicking the shit out of that.
Pulverized his fucking big toe.
She was kicking the shit out of that dude, man. Well, I mean, if he would have just gave her the loan like she asked for, then he would still be all right. And
then just snaps his wrist off. Like, right when she slapped it, too. Dude, Aunt May was a fucking badass.
Yeah, that's one thing I like. I like that she just, even though she was old, she knew she'd get her ass kicked. She still wouldn't take shit. Anyway.
Nope. Not a single.
Dude,
well, except for that one time she got traumatized by the Green Goblin. That wasn't cool.
Yeah, we don't talk about it.
But at least she still smacked the shit out of Doc. She still smacked the shit out of Doc Ock. That was entertaining.
Yeah, she did.
Because like she's like, shame on you. Like after he was about to stab Spider-Man.
It's like, come on, I want you to do it. I want you to swing at me. Come on.
I dare ya.
Swing at me with your spider cock.
I don't know why she didn't just. I don't know why she didn't just like bust out a window and crawl in.
Yeah, she could have.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe she
she's
could.
old as fuck.
Well, then you because those are the kind of windows you gotta bend down, try to open it. And she, you know, she's getting older. She can't really bend down.
Yeah, so she could have just broke it.
Yeah, like how she pulverized that dude's toe. She could have just fucking
Yeah.
right on the.
She's like, oh wait, I got the toe pulverizer.
I'm sure I'm sure she's carrying like at least 10 pounds of C4 in that purse.
In fact, I bet she has the Penguin's umbrella.
Maybe, yeah, she took it from like Spider-Man, not Spider-Man, from Batman Returns. You know, when she was in Gotham
Her
City
and Danny
one day.
DeVito.
Yeah,
She's on vacation in Gotham.
Bus.
Yeah.
She's on vacation in Gotham City one day during Batman Returns, and then after Penguin died, she like saw like it just flowing downstream and somewhere in the Gotham River. Oh, hey, nice! Took it as a souvenir.
Dude, that would be super cool. And yeah, but still, she should have shot out the window.
Yeah, she could have done that.
She's like, I got this from Gotham.
Oh yeah, and then of course I thought that was kind of funny. I guess it was kind of cute in a way where like when she was trying to hang off her dear life, like, you know, she looked up, it was like a statue of an angel, and she was like, oh, thank you, God bless, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that was really sweet. They should totally bring her back. She was cool.
No, I want to see her one.
She was the hottest.
One more.
No.
Whoa, what? I mean, if
No, it
you're
really
into
it would be very, very cool if she came back. Just at least one more time, you know, one more reference to that anime.
I know, I would love that. That'd be amazing.
I do want to try the
amazing.
pizza place that he got fired from.
Spider-Man.
Do you think Joe's Pizzeria is a real place?
Yeah, it is.
How do you know?
Because Eric Voss from New Rockstar said so.
Well, Eric Voss, I don't believe you.
Joe's Pizzeria. Joe's
Okay.
Pizza, New York City.
Can't wait.
Yeah, there's like 1,000 of them.
Of course there's 1,000 of them, but is it the one that has the ending guy that says, go?
yeah, that one. One for Spider-Man 2. You know, that dude.
That was the perfect imitation.
I want that one.
Go!
Oh yeah, remember that when like Peter was like, "Oh man, I need this job. Come on, give me one more chance." And he just fucking rips that
rips
he
it
rips
right
the sticker
off.
off of his helmet. Oh man, you know how I was actually
He's
kind of
like,
pissed for
"No!"
Peter. I was kind of pissed for Peter when like he almost made it, but then that lady at the desk was just being.
Oh,
an
dude,
asshole
I
about
wanted
it.
to beat her ass so bad. Like, for real. I'm like, you're really going to do that to my man Peter Parker?
Well,
Like,
it's
you
only a few
fucking
minutes
bitch.
late, and then she's like, "I'm not paying for those."
Yeah, and then continues to chew her gum.
See, that's the thing because
I
man,
ain't paying for that
especially
shit.
since I've worked at Pizza Hut and I've done like DoorDash. There's like, yeah, I get that. I know people have been like that to me too.
So
They've been mean.
you wanted to knock her out. You wanted to fucking like.
I don't want to, but I was still like, I get it, Peter. I know what that's like.
Well, the thing is, if it's not paid for, you just fucking leave with the pizzas.
Honestly, when I'm paying for these, I'm like, you know what? Then I'm taking my pizzas back.
Yeah, like I'll find somebody that will pay me for this shit.
If you don't want to pay for it, fuck you.
I'll take my pizza back then. Shit, I'll give it to the Ninja Turtles.
Right? They'll pay me for this shit. $20.
Shit, man. Here, take your pizza. Well, see,
I want to see that. I want to see that crossover.
I don't know why they have not done that crossover yet. Honestly, I mean,
all in
here it
New York.
is. This is Joe's Pizza right here. This is what it is.
The
right?
one, the
This
very
is it.
one?
Yeah, this is the one.
I'll fucking punch you if it's not.
I'll kill you.
seriously though, like a Ninja Turtles Spider-Man crossover makes way more sense than a Batman crossover.
I was about to say the same thing.
I mean, it's still kind of cool, but I'm like, fucking, they're both in New York though. They're both New York heroes. Why would they not ever cross over at some point?
And I can see Spider-Man loving pizza.
Like, I can see him getting along with the Turtles. I can see him being buddies with the Turtles because he's a smart ass, you know. He's got to make all the smartest comments.
And him would just be
Like him, like he would be like the fifth like turtle essentially, you know, in a weird way.
Which turtle ended up surviving?
Well, I know one of them died. Didn't Leonardo die or something?
Nah, I think they all died except one.
Oh, I don't know. Another
I think
from the
it was
comics.
Michelangelo survives.
For real?
I could see Mikey surviving.
Damn, I thought I was gonna be
I haven't
the
kept
main
up with
turtle.
the comics though, so.
But yeah, where does this Joe's Pizza?
Yeah, where is
Give me a
Joe's
second.
Pizza? Where is the pizza?
I really do, cause they mention. Did they mention any food place in the Amazing Spider-Man?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay, cause I
have to
do.
watch those again.
I want to try the Joe's Pizza. and I also want to try the.
Oh, what was that burger joint that was like a fast food joint that Mary Jane was working at? You remember that where like Peter?
Oh, he was supposed to pick her up from or something.
He went over there to go say hi or something, and then she like was like ashamed to show her that she's working at a fucking burger joint. And that was the same scene where that fat guy like. Excuse me, Miss Watson. You know exactly what I'm talking about, too. This big, fat fucking dude. Excuse me, Miss Watson. Miss Watson.
Oh, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I want to eat there, too. Oh, fuck.
If that even still exists. But, yeah, just the way he said it. Just,
oh, shit. Oh, fuck. What if that place is just called Joe's Cafe?
I don't know, but I wonder if that's real too. That's what we need to do. We need to look up all the restaurants that were featured in all the Spider-Man
Raimi-verse,
movies,
yeah.
in the Raimi-verse, and to see where they were.
Joe's Pizza.
Miss Watson.
There it is. 718-779-5880.
Yes, Enrique, okay? I get you.
Let's go.
Dude, fuck, that's... I love the Spider-Man movies.
Bully Maguire, let me tell you.
What is super dated, I probably said this in another podcast we did, but I know you cannot do the whole phone booth scene anymore. You cannot pull that off now.
Oh, yeah?
No, you could still do that, but it has to be in a different place. You can't be in a phone booth or at a payphone because God knows those don't exist anymore.
Unless you're Superman and you're fast enough to get away with it. That's what time it works.
There's one payphone only for Superman.
Yeah, pretty much specific for him.
Yep.
And I think him and Doctor Who they have a timeshare on like one telephone booth.
I wonder which. Oh, is it? So is it a real place?
Joe's Pizza. 7 Carmine Street.
Oh shit! Yeah, there it is.
Nice.
Joe's Pizza.
Joe's Pizza.
Well, anyway.
Joe's 29-minute guarantees a promise. I know to you, Peter, a promise means nothing.
I swear.
But to me, it's everything.
I know I've seen that dude in a lot of other films.
Oh, I know. I have seen him in other shit, too.
Oh, hey, since, we're really close to Thanksgiving, right? So, like, this is a perfect time to talk about that scene, too, where, like, they're having their Thanksgiving.
Oh,
and
shit.
And the motherfucking, Peter Parker's, like, trying to hide.
Dude, their Aunt May did it again. Fucking wrist breaker, man.
Yeah.
She
beat the shit out of him.
See, the Goblin fucking...
Goblin versus Aunt May. Death battle.
Norman was pissed. That's why he wanted to go blow up her house. Because he was like, you fucking smacked me in the wrist, bitch.
You know how much strength I had to use not to have my shit broke?
Like, I had to pay expensive surgery to fix my hand after you
you don't want to fuck with the Aunt May wrist breaker.
Well, no, see how menacing he was, and he was like he was ready to just fucking carve the shit out of the turkey.
You know how good that turkey looked?
It looked really fucking good.
No, that was a pretty good looking Thanksgiving dinner, man. Hopefully
they did a good job with that.
Hopefully they actually ate it. Hopefully that wasn't just prop food.
My favorite thing about Thanksgiving is the fucking sweet potatoes. I love the sweet potatoes so fucking much.
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes with mushrooms. I mean, not mushrooms.
Wow. Okay. What kind of
marshmallows?
Yeah, instead of marshmallows, mushrooms.
Dude, that'd be a trip and a half.
But dude, I was like, the first time I saw that scene though, him like trying to hide from Norman, like I was like, really, oh my god, is he gonna find him? It was intense, man.
Yeah.
The first time seeing that as a kid.
And then he hears the blood drop.
He's like, oh shit. In my mind, I was like, is he gonna find him? Is he gonna find him? He looks up and he's not there. And then
he squints. He does the whole
he looks all mad and walks out. Like when I was a kid, the first time I saw that, I was just like. I was just like clenching so tight, like, don't fight them.
There's what I tend to do and I don't even realize I do this. But say like there's a part in a movie where like the main character or whoever has to hold their breath for a certain amount of time, I'll unknowingly hold my breath.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, I do that too.
We're like, let's see if I can beat the main character.
Well, not even like to see if I could beat it. Just be like,
really?
It's just like,
it just happens.
It was unconscious for you,
it's like, oh shit, this is the intense scene. Like, gotta hold my breath, like, or I'm gonna not make it. It's just like I don't know, something in my brain like tells me like, get ready to hold your breath, and I'm like.
Yeah, well, for me, it was just straight up a competition. Let's see if I can outbeat the main character.
There's times where I have done that and, like, past movies, like after I've seen things.
Unfortunately, some movies are unrealistic and I couldn't win. But unless I was like one of those like deep sea divers that trained at it, but you know.
Even then, I think the longest for them is like 9 minutes, and that's.
I thought it was like 5 or 6 minutes, but I don't know. Could be wrong on that. Still, that's a long time.
Yeah, it is. And then like, I don't know. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, finish it! Fucking the goblin was telling Amy to finish it. Finish it. What's she like? Deliver us! Ah.
Right.
Those eyes! Those evil yellow eyes!
Jeez.
Jeez.
See, because he came for her straight up because he's like, bitch, you breaking my wrist. I'll show you how to break a wrist.
And then,
dude,
course,
you gotta be careful of Aunt May. She's fucking.
She'll kill you. She's a killer.
Where do you think Peter Parker actually gets his powers from? Like, from a Spider-Man? Ah, fuck that shit. No, it was Aunt May this whole time.
The spider bite just activated the Aunt May powers.
The Aunt May genes, yeah. Even though they're probably not actually related, but still, it's all.
That's where he gets all his strength from.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a funny thing, too, that I kind of thought about. The Aunt May actually isn't his biological aunt because, you know, Ben Parker and
yeah, I
Ben
never,
Parker
like,
and,
for some reason that's something I never fucking, like...
Rick Parker?
Noticed.
Richard Parker.
Richard Parker, yeah. Yeah, because Ben and Richard were brothers, but not Aunt May.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, that's not actually his biological aunt. But, you know, it's still family, so he still loves her, of course.
Kind of. He's like, I guess I love you.
I don't know. I mean, I really, though, that's all he has left, though, so I can see why he would be very protective of his aunt.
I'm surprised that, because I heard that a long time ago from this, I don't know where I heard it from, that Peter Parker in high school was as smart as Reed Richards was in high school. Yeah. So I don't think that they have, like, the same IQ level, but obviously Reed is just...
Well, I think it's just that, like, Peter Parker isn't as experienced. Like, when he gets older, he'd probably be at that level. Maybe that he'd be super duper smart. But since he's just fresh out of high school and he's not as experienced,
and he doesn't have the equipment either.
Yeah, you know, then if it like that's what I mean. I thought that's what was kind of cool. So, you know, he could understand like and read papers and get what's going on. He just have the equipment and you know doesn't have the experience to like come up with like his own cool original shit.
Or the drive.
Maybe eventually down the line he will. You know, that's why I thought was actually cool about Peter Parker was the potential of how smart he could become.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and how powerful he could become too with like his spider powers.
All right, I'll be right back.
I do like how, like, you have Reed Richards as, like, the head smartest. And then you have, like, Tony Stark is, like, I don't know if he's, like, the second or third, but he's, like, the smartest in, like, technology. Like, that's his specialty type of shit, you know? And then Bruce Banner's, like, up there in smarts, but his specialty is like gamma. You know how you have those like super duper fucking ridiculously smart people, but they're like specialized in certain things. And then you have Reed Richards, that's just kind of like the smartest.
Yeah,
I wonder what
Peter Parker him and what was it, Hank Pym? Hank
Pym
particles
too,
and all that becomes big or small.
He's also one of those like
Pym,
geniuses.
Stark, and Richards. Yeah, they were like the three like super smart people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and everybody else is like, yeah, you're kind of smart.
You're kind of smart. I wonder what Peter would specialize in.
I don't know.
Because he's
well, yeah. I guess we can't forget about
Morbius.
No, not Morbius, but well, I actually know about Bruce Banner. He was also
really
smart too. You know?
I mentioned him being super smart.
Yeah, Bruce Banner, Tony Stark, Reed Richards, and Hank Pym.
The four smartest.
They were the four smartest dudes, and I guess maybe because even though he's a villain, I can't forget about
Doom.
Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, Doom is just—he's my favorite fucking. I know it's a little off track, but yeah, he's my favorite fucking villain of all time. Like I honestly don't know much about him either. Like I know, I know things, I know his stories, but just the things that I do know about him is just like, oh my god, like this is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, you don't want to screw with this guy. I mean, he made his own country, Latveria, like in the past or some shit.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Like when he went back in time for some reason.
He got sent into the past to like get taught a lesson, and then he ended up becoming like the servant to that guy that sent him in the past. And then right when he got sent into the past, he revealed himself as Doom and then beat the shit out of the guy that sent him into the past.
Yeah.
It was it was crazy.
Yeah, I know it was like, he was a super duper powerful villain.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with Doom.
You don't mess with that guy.
God damn.
See, I actually I still had this thought in my mind, but I was trying to figure out what. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Stanley like pulled some woman away.
Yeah, he from getting crushed by the rubble. The falling rubble, I mean.
Yeah, and then I know that, and of course, I know we talked about it earlier, where like in 3, he was just saying, oh, you see, somebody can make a difference. Or one person can make a difference, something like that. And I guess like in Spider-Man 2, there was actually like a deleted scene where like he was like, hey, somebody stole that kid. Spider-Man stole that kid's sneakers. It was actually a part of a deleted scene, yeah.
So what was
I think that's what it was.
In the second one then?
No, when the second one, he just pulled a woman away from getting the rubble falling off her when like Doc Ock and Peter or Spider-Man were fighting up there when he was trying to save Aunt May.
This is the one in the first movie.
That was kind of the same thing. It was kind of like a small little bit part. It wasn't like anything that big, I don't think. As far as I can tell. Because I know the only time he actually had like more actual noticeable screen time was in 3 when he said that thing, you know.
Yeah.
Directly to Peter Parker.
It's like, one person can make a difference.
Yeah.
I guess now they're just doing like, I don't remember what his last cameo was, but they did it like as him like on a magazine or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I thought it'd be like kind of cool if they used like some deleted scenes of him and some footage and shit like that. And we're able to do. I don't know. They can easily photorealistically shop.
What you mean, like try to still do like cameos even though he's dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they maybe do that, but I feel like maybe just to respect to his family and everything, maybe because I don't know if they would consent to that or not.
It'd be nice because everybody loves seeing a Stanley cameo.
I mean, maybe at least once for this movie, like for the new No Way Home movie, at least one time do it for that.
Something, give me something.
I wouldn't mind just for like that one time. I wouldn't do it anymore after that though. You know, like I said, because it's more out of respect for the dead, and really I also know if his family would be down with that.
I don't even know what the cameo would be.
I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. I mean, it'd be a perfect time to have like some kind of cameo if he was still alive. It's kind of one of those. It's one of those things where I wish he would have lived to see 100, which he would be like next year, I think, because he was born like 1922. He was close, but unfortunately.
Yeah, it would have been really nice if he was the one to deliver the "with great responsibility comes great power."
Or something like that. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, Tom Holland. I think that'd be really fun.
I mean, I know he said it before, but not like in any actual like film or
no.
Like, movies. I think he's only ever done like on interviews and stuff. I think he's ever actually talked about that. With great power comes great responsibility thing.
Well, it's just an iconic line.
Yeah. No,
I hate it. I still hate that they did the whole. You have a moral obligation. It's like,
you have a moral obligation to do the thing.
Yeah, to do the thing.
Do the thing.
And then you just cut it right there.
But now it's whatever. Yeah. You know, maybe the other directors felt like they couldn't top the first time they did it, which okay.
I mean, if that's the case, I hope they at least would come out and say that.
I don't know. It's whatever. Like I said, really a lot of these other movies that came, like the Amazing Spider-Man and the Tom Holland ones, like they're in a way it was like almost kind of like a spiritual sequel in a way because they were still going forward with like having new villains, and new character dynamics, and because it was funny because like right after Spider-Man 3, because that's when Gwen Stacy showed up in that movie. Like she ends up being the girlfriend. Like, in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Well, I guess they were already in the works of a backup film, and then so Raimi like heard that, and he was already like having trouble with writing the third movie in this, or I think it was like the fourth one. I know he's having trouble with writing the third one. He's even having more trouble like getting a script or something together for the fourth. So he just was like, you know what, you guys just go forward with your reboot, like you already have.
All right.
Yeah.
Like I had some of these ideas, but maybe you can do something with them later.
Yeah.
If you make that movie.
So
and that makes sense. And the reason why I said that it almost feels like a spiritual sequel is because a lot of the ideas that did not get followed up through with, or kind of around, were finally being utilized. Yeah. Like because like we didn't get to see Dr. Connors become the Lizard, in the Sam Raimi trilogy. But Dr. Connors ends up doing it in this new Mark Webb movie.
Right, we didn't get to see the death of the first girlfriend. We get
so
to
it's
see
like,
it in this
and of course, they already had Gwen
one.
Stacy, so hey, let's have her actually be more of a lead instead of just being a wedge between somebody else's relationship. So that was so that's, I mean, like, in a weird way, it's not a sequel, but like there's ideas that were carried over and were utilized more.
Things that they wanted.
Movie. So in some weird way, it's still kind of flows.
I can see
there's like still kind of a weird flow, even if it's only like just through some ideas.
I can see the Venom, the Tom Hardy Venom, fitting into the Garfield universe.
Yeah, I kind of see that too a little bit, because I know they both mentioned Ravencroft, like that one institution that people go to or whatever. Because I know that's where they sent Electro.
Yeah.
Also, and even though I think there were two different ones, because I think the one in Venom was like somewhere like the California branch or some shit like that. I think.
Yeah, because
it was like out. It wasn't in New York State. It was like somewhere in California or something.
Yeah, exactly. But he had some incident that happened in New York, and that's why he was in San Francisco. I know that for sure. At least that's what they said in the movie.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It was weird. Because I remember didn't it go to New York, but then went back to San Francisco or something. I don't know. We'll talk about that again whenever it comes out on DVD or something, which I feel like it's probably gonna come streaming pretty soon.
I wouldn't see why not. I mean, it'll be around for the holidays for sure, so you can buy it for Christmas.
I could see that one coming out before Spider-Man or No Way Home, honestly, on streaming or something, because Shang-Chi already came out, so.
Yeah, you're right. But I thought they also got a HBO release as well.
I don't know. I just know that Sony has the phone rights to Venom, right? So maybe they'll probably do whatever the hell they want with it, maybe. I don't know.
Which I thought was really weird, because in well, I mean, I guess I didn't think it was weird that they owned the rights, but when we were doing the whole Spider-Man marathon, at the end of Venom, they showed their after credit scene is the Spider-Verse, the animated movie.
Oh yeah, that was that's what it was.
Yeah.
And the end of Spider-Man, or not Spider-Man, but the end of the first Venom movie, like they had like the end credit scene being.
Yeah, and I didn't realize
being a scene from Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, and I didn't think about it as like Venom being like Sony owned, and that's them just showing off their Spider-Man movie, Because when we looked up like whether the Into the Spider-Verse is part of like the actual like MCU. And it wasn't, so I was like, oh, okay. So that's just them showing off what they're doing outside of the MCU.
Right.
It's their own.
It might lead up into some other much larger like Spider-Verse thing, like with like the Sam Raimi stuff, Tom Holland, Into the Spider-Verse.
Right, because they did have a lot of the Raimi stuff even into that one, and they didn't even make you think that. But
I don't know. I mean, all the time will tell really what they're gonna do next. I just think that. Like as of right now, with like No Way Home, it might go into a Venom sequel, but with Tom Holland Spider-Man. Maybe, I don't know. It makes you wonder what they're gonna do with that. And speaking of Into this, not this, but No Way Home. Like, remember seeing that thing where like the lizard gets punched by an invisible thing?
Yeah.
Like. I thought that was from the Brazilian trailer or something.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what that was all about, but hopefully something cool come out of that.
I haven't seen anything.
There's probably already people chomping at the bit, like, oh, it's probably going to be actually, like, I don't know, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man punching him.
There's somebody
that it out or something.
I saw a thumbnail saying that it could be Doc Ock, and I was like, oh,
yeah, that'd be interesting.
It
makes sense, but if that was the case, we already know he's in the movie, so they wouldn't have to have edited him out.
Yeah, exactly. Because we saw, they did show and this is probably on purpose, I'm guessing, a scene where Electro's like blasting lightning through this building, and we see like Doc Ock kind of falling.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, why didn't they just show Doc Ock right there jumping at Electro?
Yeah, but
he
already got knocked. I see that sort of thing. I can see Doc, like knocked out of the fight for momentarily.
Mm-hmm.
While Tom Holland's Peter Parker's flying all by himself or whatever again. And I do like that. That's how they're kind of like building these trailers up where he's all by himself, but like the odds are too insurmountable. You know, he's dealing with the multiverse and then, like 6 new villains that just came out of nowhere.
Dude, I know we still need to watch the Far From Home movie. And I've only seen that movie once, and I really want to see that again.
Yeah, I might have seen it twice, I think. It's a good movie. I like it a lot. I would totally be down to watch that again.
Well, what movies do we have left to watch?
Well, we still have to watch Endgame, at least with the Peter Parker ones, because I don't need to watch the whole movie again.
Not the entire movie.
Just the fight with Thanos, and then once Peter Parker comes back.
Right when they come back and they snap everybody back. That's a good part to come back in. When you see them, like, actually, like, when Bruce actually snaps his finger. That's, like, that scene, that little scene right there. I think that's a perfect scene to come into the movie at. Like, honestly.
Pretty much, yeah.
then it gives us the entire fight scene with Thanos.
Yeah. Then we can feel like we just got blipped out with Peter Parker.
Exactly. Yeah. We just came back in. Like,
what did we miss?
Last thing I knew, we were on the fucking planet.
Yeah, I guess we could do that, but I really do want to see that Thanos fight scene.
No, I'm down to see that. But then what comes after that? Then
that's when that
that's comes Far From Home, right?
Yeah, Far From Home happens right after that. Yeah.
And
actually, I think Venom came out the same year, but I think that there's a months of difference between the two. Actually, no, that's not true. Maybe because I know Venom came out in 2018. Actually, no, yeah, Venom actually came out first, and it came out in 2018, and then Far From Home came out in 2019. I remember that. Yeah, Far From Home came out in 2019, so we would actually have to watch Venom right after that. Yeah.
Well, when did Into the Spider-Verse come out?
That came out the same year, but in December. Yeah, it came out after Venom.
This is
so we would actually have to watch Venom and then, well, I guess Endgame, then Venom, and then Into the Spider-Verse, and then Far From Home. Yeah, that was the release order that those films came out in.
God damn.
That's not that bad, though.
No, it's just like, I really want to see Far From Home. God damn it!
Oh, look at you! Now you're being impatient like Taco, or he really wants to watch Into the Spider-Verse. But that's whatever, I guess.
I own that. I've seen it a billion
That's actually
times,
one
so I can wait.
That's actually one I want to get on 4K Blu-ray is Into the Spider-Verse, because that's just such a good standalone movie by itself.
Well, I have it on my Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about just having that in my collection, though.
Oh,
just
no,
that
I feel
one
you there,
specifically. Like, I love that movie so
I would like
much.
to see that in, like, the best resolution possible.
Yeah, just watching it on 4K Blu-ray. But, yeah, there's something I did want to mention, though, about, like, the first Spider-Man, Sam Raimi one, is the fact that, don't you like how, like, they kind of left it in, like, little bits of, like, just kind of, like, weird dialogue for, like, when, Norman Osborn is going into the chamber, like they put him in the thing, and he's like, "Oh, that's cold."
Oh yeah, I thought that. I don't think that was like intentional. But
they
left it in there
because it worked, Or like it wasn't really dialogue, but just like the sound that Toby makes,
cold.
like it's the sound that Toby makes when he lands on the floor after getting punched by goblins.
No, yeah, this is little things like that. No, I totally get you.
There's like little things like that they will leave in. I just thought,
I thought that was cool. It gives it a little more like, I don't know. I guess realism. I guess
it makes sense. If it's cold, it's fucking cold. Yeah. So that's a legit reaction. That's probably why they kept it in there, because it was so real.
And that's why I'm not arguing with it, because it's just like, it's perfect. Yeah,
I would Sam Raimi, so it fits with his style of doing things.
I still don't remember who the fuck was JJ's assistant.
That wasn't like, what the hell was her name?
No, the big black guy.
Oh, that dude? Oh, I don't remember what his name was. I just know that I don't remember what her last name was, but I thought like his assistant's name was like Betty or something, like the girl.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember the other dude's name though.
You have to look it up, because I thought he did a good job at his role too. It was a small role, but I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, and then there was like the Yes Man too. Remember that? He like walks in and like
Raimi's brother.
Oh, that was Sam Raimi's brother.
Yeah.
The Yes Man dude. That was that's funny. That was Jameson's yes man. I thought that was funny when like Jameson was like trying to call him, and then he's already in the room. Like yes, he's like wait what? Oh, hey, I need you to do the thing. He's like looks like what the hell? He's already there.
I love that stuff. There's
little stuff like that. There's little bits of like humor in there. Another thing too is that I like that like they kind of that's the other thing too that I would actually like to see actually because like in 2000 in the in Spider-Man 2. Like I liked how like they were trying to come up with the name for Doc Ock, and the yes man was like, "Doctor Strange, hi, how's the video going?" But already taken.
Yep. So it's like that's establishing.
I want to see like a nod to that version of Doctor Strange from the Sam Raimi verse. Yeah, that'd be kind of funny, wouldn't it?
That would be.
If he makes like a small cameo or like a small appearance in
maybe the scene we see in
No Way Home.
the No Way Home. He's outside of the sanctum. What is it? The Sanctum of Wisdom or something?
Yeah, you just see like just for like just a few seconds, like you see that sanctum in the Sam Raimi verse or something.
Yeah,
you know?
He's talking to that fucking J. Jonah.
Or like just that version of Doctor Strange or something. Like I like to see Doctor Strange interact with that Doctor Strange.
I do.
Think that would be hilarious. That'd be kind of a missed opportunity if they didn't.
Right.
By the way, Bill Nunn. That was the guy that was Robbie Robertson.
Robbie, yep, Robbie.
Yeah, and
Robertson.
Hoffman. That was the yes man.
Hoffman.
The Ted
Hoffman.
Raimi. Hoffman. And he's like, yes. He's just right there. Oh yeah. What about Bonesaw McGraw, huh?
You
Randy
got 3
Savage.
minutes.
3 minutes of playtime.
Yo, dude. Oh fuck! How could we not talk about that guy? That was amazing.
The human spider. No, he got my name wrong.
The human spider, that's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Whatever, kid.
Just get out there. Like, what's the
And everybody was a real
amazing
fucking jerk to that guy.
Spider-Man.
Throwing popcorn, telling him that they're gonna fucking send him to the hospital.
Everybody in
and
the
shit.
first movie, dude, everybody was fucking assholes.
Yeah,
that was
were.
like a very cynical world that he lived in.
I saw this thing. I don't remember which one. I think it might have been in the second. No, we watched it here. Yeah, in the deleted scenes or backstage, whatever thing, the credits. I don't even know what they're fucking called anymore.
Yeah.
But when he gets hit in the face with the bag, that's actually Sam Raimi that has the bag and just whaps his face.
Oh, really? And which part?
It's where Peter Parker's at the college and he drops his stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's in the second film. Yeah. It's in the second film when he's going to the college right before he bumps into Dr. Connors.
All right.
Yeah. When he's
Okay. He was there too.
Yeah, that was Sam Raimi that like hit him in the face with a book bag.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that is actually pretty hilarious.
And the director's right there. No, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, you always got like when a director just like has a small bit role.
What director I'm seeing a lot lately have a lot of roles is the director to Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, really?
I don't remember his name, but I keep seeing him in everything, dude.
Wasn't it Taika Waititi that did
Ragnarok?
Yeah.
I'm seeing him a lot in as acting roles.
Right.
It's weird. It's really weird. But I mean, if that's your thing, if you're an actor and director,
I don't know if you can act and direct, and like I said, they're small parts, so it's not like you got to really do a whole lot, really.
Yeah, he was a bad guy in actually one of them.
Who? Which one? Oh, Taika Waititi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
Fuck, I don't remember which.
Well, it gives you more to do. You can actually interact with your art.
Right, it gives you different scenes.
So,
exactly.
Like, why the hell not? I would totally do that. You actually made me think of, this is kind of a small little aside real quick, but and Afro Samurai, like I think it was like the second one in Resurrection or whatever, like the director, and it wasn't, I don't know if it was the director, but it was like the original artist that made like those comic, the manga or whatever for Afro Samurai. He actually had like a bit in there where he was like,
oh no shit.
He was like, I think he was like in the strip club or whatever. He had like they had a bunch of girls like just like giving lap dances and like
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
He's just like over there, just like like having girls all on him and shit, just like kissing him and shit.
Nah, that's super cool. I do know that they did the same thing for Undercover Brother.
Yeah.
Remember the Science Brother? He was the big guy with the lab coat. He just
Undercover Brother. I don't think I watched that in years. So I don't really remember that one very well.
Well, there's the Science Brother, and he's actually the dude that created Undercover Brother, like the comics.
Yeah.
And then he like, I think he animated him and like voiced Undercover Brother or something like that.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then they ended up doing the movie, and he got a role in it, you know, because he's the creator.
Right.
So he's like, you know, that's a pretty cool nod to, you know, letting your like the creator be in the actual movie itself. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, there you go. That's another example of a creator or director being in in a movie.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I knew he did acting and stuff, but he wasn't like, I guess he wasn't a director himself.
Yeah.
But it, you know, just somebody that creates, because I guess the directors can have like that creative standpoint of how a movie's gonna be.
Yeah.
Or yeah, be dictated.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that we need to cover about the Sam Raimi trilogy. I mean, another thing that was I remember in my mind that's sort of a little thing is that, like, remember when Mary Jane was gonna marry, like Jameson's son or whatever,
Oh,
the astronaut
Junior.
dude. Yeah, I think that was in the second one, right?
Yeah, at the very end, yeah.
Right, she was going to, but then like she also found out about Spider-Man's identity.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, you know what?
I think it was like right there. She's like, oh shit, the kiss.
Yeah, it's like she was trying to connect the dots between Peter Parker and like they're like, oh my god, it all makes sense now. That's why I love Peter Parker's was because you or Spider-Man's was because you were Spider-Man or something.
She already knew.
Why was
at
she
that point because
or didn't she kind of already? I mean, I remember she said that in a way I kind of always know.
He saved her already.
She always kind of had knew. She didn't like straight know, but she had a really strong idea of who Spider-Man was.
I guess in the back of my brain.
It's kind of.
I always known it was you.
I mean, even though she didn't know, but like she had a really good idea who Spider-Man actually was. Yeah. You know, it's like it's totally. It has to be Peter Parker.
It has to be Tobi Maguires Spider-Man Spider.
Peter Man.
I knew it was you, Peter Man.
I knew it was you, Spider Parker.
Starts yelling obscene things at him.
Yeah.
No, I guess I don't have much else to say on the Raimi verse. I wish it would have continued. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it would have been fun. It was a good time while it lasted. You know, it was only 5 years too, from 2002 to 2007. It wasn't as long as it felt.
No,
you know?
And then for Iron Man to come out like a year later.
Yeah, like literally, it came right after that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, oh man, they just missed their opportunity to get Peter Parker into the
how would
MCU.
that played out though? If like, say Raimi did continue it, and then the MCU just continued to do their own thing. You think they actually would have done a reboot at some point?
I mean, I don't know.
I do think at some point they may have done a reboot.
I think it might have been feasible because it was just so close. You know, it wasn't like I mean, I guess because they are also putting out X-Men movies, and there wasn't any plans to like connect them because it was on by Fox, and I guess Fox and Sony just weren't thinking about.
Yeah, they weren't.
Yeah, they weren't thinking about it. I know, like, but that's the thing because like Marvel Studios was thinking about like a whole like.
Oh, of course they wanted their
like franchise, all these superheroes and like all this, and that eventually into the Avengers. They already had like a whole plan laid out. You know, they basically had most of the.
What they should have done instead of selling off the rights,
I think
they should have like pawned off the rights. You know, like, hey, we'll let you guys like hold on and like do money, and then like obviously we'll give you the money back to get the shit back. You know, I think that's what they should have done, but I don't know if that's even a thing in business. I don't know.
Well, it's just I'm just kind of curious as to, because you know they've basically with No Way Home they've kind of recanonized the Mark Webb and the Sam Raimi films. So I wonder if they're gonna do that with the X-Men movies too. You know, they'll try to recanonize those. It'd be easier too because it's more far removed.
I found out that.
I would think
Captain America.
And
he's now like in Marvel Comics, like it's official that his like Super Soldier program was actually part of the whole weapon program.
Like it was like another division of like Weapon X and like and like the thing that Oscorp was doing. Yeah, like their their mutagenic whatever they were doing with the spiders.
I think he's like.
Weapon, and I guess goblins.
I think he's Weapon 1. Yeah, he's Weapon 1. That's what he is.
He was like the original weapon
Yeah.
that they first successfully developed.
Yeah.
And I guess like Weapon X is supposed to be kind of like
A
in the
special,
same
like, division
in the
of
same
that,
family of like,
yeah,
hey, we
of
are all
weapons.
trying to come up with all these things, you know, to make the best super soldier possible, whether it be a serum or a gas or a fucking
something, yeah, some
or
genetic
a spider.
or a spider.
Yeah.
Oh, what? So I'm wondering if they're gonna do something like that. Like, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if like they still like used old Steve as an advisor or something
Maybe.
like
I don't know.
that. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Didn't they kind of imply that he's dead now?
I have no idea.
Like, you know, his character, like Steve Rogers, is dead at this point. I mean, you know, he's old by the end of Endgame, but you know, he's basically like
it's so
died
weird.
after that.
That's just such a fucking time paradox, but that's also another thing.
Yeah, and there was like a movie that explained that where he kind of broke a lot of rules doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you know, staying in a different time. So he's basically a variant in a different timeline.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, of course, you think that the police would be coming after, like the time police, be coming after his, or what, the TBA or whatever the fuck that was in the Loki series.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we're supposed to get another Loki series until 2024
or something. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a long time. They definitely spent a pretty chunk of money on making those, and then they gotta worry about like the new Spider-Man, and then like the Multiverse of Madness, and then Thunder, and then the Hawkeye TV show that's coming out too.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not excited. I'm not like. Okay,
I
don't
want to see
I don't want to downplay it because I will watch it, and I am kind of looking forward to it. But it's not something that like I'm just like, oh shit.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm like, oh god, I can't wait.
I know that's how I kind of feel about.
That's not how I feel about it.
The
but
Multiverse of Madness. That's definitely how I feel about that. I was
really
like,
looking forward to
I'm
that
excited
one,
for that one. Yeah.
I'll just be happy, like, if this the upcoming Spider-Man movie's gonna actually be good. Because so far, I'm liking it more and more the more stuff that they reveal. You know, I'm just like.
Yeah.
Everybody's just waiting for it now. I mean, you know, just wait. Is it gonna happen? Is there gonna be the other two Spider dudes?
What scene really confuses me and has me like kind of boggled is that train scene.
Oh yeah, the thing where like he's basically squaring off against
Doc. I mean,
but Doctor Strange.
Yeah, like
I couldn't think of
yeah,
it
I
for a
didn't want to say
second.
Doc Ock. But yeah.
Not Doc Ock.
Doc Strange.
Yeah.
Doc Strange. Doc
Ock Strange. But anyway.
Strangely octopus, huh?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
no,
Well,
I'm wondering where that's like take place at, and like you know if they're gonna have their little showdown.
Oh,
it's hard to say.
Well, I mean, they're playing these
curious.
scenes like really out of order though, which I thought was kind. And I know they're doing it on purpose, just so that
mash it up, yeah.
Just so that they can kind of keep you on your toes, you know.
I am hoping that this is just test footage we're given and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, even in trailer 2, like they show us more villain stuff, but there's still a lot of the same footage from the. Well, I guess not a lot of the same, but there's a lot. There's still not showing
like
everything just yet.
But it gives you a little bit more of that spot,
Yeah, we got more of like the villain
the
highlights.
Highway. We got a little more of the sanctum.
And it's cool that they're actually interacting with Doc Ock too. That's cool. Like Tom Holland is.
Yeah, I do like that.
Like,
what's your name?
Yeah.
Dr.
Otto Octavius, which apparently he doesn't exist in their universe. Apparently, not a variant of it, because
that's what.
Then it makes sense because I don't think Peter met him until like he was like usually he's like meets him like when he's like older and already out of high school, so it makes sense they wouldn't have met his Doc Ock yet. If he ever does.
I do like that he's turning out to be like a good guy of sorts because Otto's not dumb.
No, I mean that's what I'm actually really curious to see how much significance he has in the plot, like how much he'll assist Peter Parker, like Tom.
I do want to see
Parker.
both doctors helping out Peter.
Which Doc Ock and Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
it's basically what's happening.
Help out.
Pretty
what
much.
If it is? What if it's not fucking Andrew or fucking Toby? It's fucking Doctor and Doctor.
Yeah, I mean honestly, I'd be happy with that. I mean it would be nice. If
they come fucking barreling through and it's like, we're gonna prescribe you some pain.
I mean, it would be really nice that if we could get Andrew and Toby, and that's the thing.
It would be cool.
I mean, it's weird because there's like that thing with like there was a thing where like they had like the Andrew Garfield blue screen where he's like saying, so you got like, was it like radioactive spider? What did it say?
That you got.
Like
yeah, they slowed it down. Like you got radioactive.
Wait, so are you at
spider blood?
Or spider blood or something? I don't remember exactly what he said, but like basically at first he said, "Oh, it was a deep fake," but then they got debunked as a deep fake because some dudes actually went down and broke down. Like, see, they kind of disproved it or something.
I honestly thought that scene was just from the second movie, like a deleted.
I mean, it might have been, but I guess they even looked. They didn't find any footage, as far as I know anyway. As far as I personally know, my experience there, as I haven't seen anybody say that was.
That'd be some cool shit if they were like,
it was a scene.
If they went back
footage.
and they're like, "Yo, Webb, Raimi, you got any deleted footage that you never put out there yet?" And they just put out that deleted footage as parts of the. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I really don't know. And then of course I think everybody's hoping that like Daredevil is gonna show up too as like.
I heard that he's supposed to. They put him. I thought they put his character in the casting list.
I haven't seen it in there. At least last time. But then again, now I was thinking because Willem Dafoe was in it, and then they took him out, but now he's back, and now they even have like the dude that was Eddie Brock in there from the Venom movies. So yeah, you don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, and that's the thing because even
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought you meant fucking Eric Foreman for a second.
No, not that guy. That's why I said Venom movies.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
Tom Hardy.
My brain.
Yeah. But then, what else? And then I know the guy that was Daredevil. He didn't explicitly say no, but he didn't say yes either because he didn't want to let anybody down, but he didn't want to get anybody's hopes up either.
What a bitch.
You know, but I mean, it makes sense that like if there's any NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, you know, like everybody's got to be as tight about this kind of shit as possible. Otherwise, you know, the surprise will be ruined.
Fucking Mark Ruffalo. Oh.
yeah. Fucking Mark. Well, I mean, Tom Holland was also kind of.
They probably fucking sewed his mouth shut after the movie.
In fact, they probably locked Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland in the same closet just so he wouldn't say shit. So what it is, it'd be
they gave him a big bouncy house, and they're like, "All right, you guys have to be here for the next
They give him like
year
a bunch of they give him like a fridge, you know, full of food, and like they just keep him in a basement somewhere. Like, okay, you guys will not leave here until.
You know that's exactly what they would fucking do. They just spill the beans on everything. So I have seen, which was really weird. But I saw a Ned, Peter, and Mary Jane reacts to Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was a trailer that we finally got to see, but they were
right, but we didn't see the trailer yet.
Yeah, but stay tuned. That was like the day, like a few days before the actual trailer was dropped.
Yeah,
too,
so I thought that was like a little
actually,
nerve-wracking. I was like, why would you do that to us? But I wasn't hating too hard. We got to see it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, it was fun.
Thank you, Brazil, for fucking it up.
It's been fun so far, and I don't mind being in the dark on things. I don't have to like.
Oh, I'm not
get my
like
hopes up that hard.
Stuff, but like I just happen to.
Yeah, it's always there. It's like just trying to. It's trying to tempt me to watch it, but I'm like, fuck you.
Spider-Man, just trying to find like the actual second trailer before the second trailer was.
I mean, I always
really released.
So I did keep like searching just to see it when it came. If it was a second trailer, second trailer,
yeah.
Second trailer.
So my YouTube's now flooded with all the Spider-Man bullshit that I try not to see, unfortunately. So it's like even the thumbnails, and it's just like, oh shit, I read that, so.
Yeah, no, I just completely ignored any speculation at this point until I finally. I just let the trailers just speak for themselves at this point. Just because.
What if Kristen Dunst comes back as Mary Jane?
Yeah, you know, it'd be even funnier. What if it was Kristen Dunst that punched a lizard?
Dude, that'd be weird.
Kristen Dunst. No, Aunt May. Aunt May punches the shit out of a lizard. We're talking about Rosemary Harris's Aunt May.
Fuck yeah.
See, that'd be kind of funny too. Like,
what if it's not even like, Spider-Man? What if it's like all three Aunt Mays?
Yeah. Rosemary Harris, Marissa Tomei, and then I can't remember. This is Sally Field, right?
I want to say so. Yeah. It's all fucking three of them up there.
Yeah, that would be. See, that's the twist. It's not any of the Spider-Man. This turns out this whole time it was an Aunt May film. All the parts that had Tom Holland in, no, it was Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei all the way.
It's her movie. It's her time to shine. I mean,
Happy's gonna co-star.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, instead of Ned, it was Happy too. Yeah, that's it. I mean, there was like that slight scene where like Marissa is like running towards something, and we don't know what exactly.
Yeah,
she,
I don't know.
Her having like I don't know.
I think it's funny how this kind of
but...
turned into the No Way Home podcast.
Well, I mean, we already talked about pretty much everything that we could talk about. I think about Spider-Man, or Sam Raimi at this point.
Oh, we definitely have.
You know, as far as I could think of, yeah, there could be something that we could think of in our next Spider-Man Spiderthon in the second episode.
I'm definitely have to refresh myself with the movies, just so I'm like there and fresh with it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When are we supposed to get together and make a podcast? Because Big Ounce is supposed to come back on Saturday.
Oh yeah, speaking of Big Ounce, yeah, he actually had to go to sleep because he has to get up because he's gonna go see his folks in Kansas City tomorrow for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the man has to drive.
Yeah, so and actually I think he wanted to Discord with us, I think, for the second episode. So yeah, we'll get to that eventually in episode, well, I guess really it would be episode, what now, 4?
It's really hard to say.
We already did 2 episodes already, right?
Yeah, Big Ounce is still editing those, and then I think...
well, this is probably going to end up being, because I'm going to edit this one, this is going to end up being episode 4 at this point, yeah, so...
Because, yeah, we need to... I wish I knew how to do some editing so I could get on this stuff and help you guys.
I mean, it's not super hard, really.
Well, excuse me. Right, I just don't have a laptop or the equipment.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
That's the only thing that's stopping me.
That is true. I bet you regret buying that Xbox One, huh?
Not necessarily. I enjoy it, but yeah, I do wish I had a laptop.
Well, I almost regret buying my PS4 because I don't have that many games for it. But then again, I also like having Gran Turismo Sport, so you know, it's all right, I guess. I kind of want to get.
Yeah, if you still enjoy it, I mean, you still use it too.
Well, I use it mostly to stream content. I don't really play games on it that much. So you know, that's
kind of what I do with my Xbox. Also, I use it for just live streaming, like YouTubing, music listening.
Yeah.
It's in everything, except it's very limited in everything.
But yeah, so I think
we're gonna wrap this up.
I think we're gonna wrap up part 1 of our Spiderthon discussion. We'll definitely come back.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up like a spider does with their web and their prey. Yeah, so yeah, we will be back with part 2 of the Spiderthon.
Until then, you guys take it easy, be cool, and stay hanging.
Yeah, this has been Peter the Parker King.
And Ponzio Parker, the friendly neighborhood podcaster.
And then Peter Big Ounce, was it Peter Big Ounce Parker? Yeah.
Peter Big Ounce Parker.
He had to go to sleep, so we'll say bye for him. All right, guys.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Cool!
You serious?